How do we know the Bible is not true? By Kweli Kush. Babies. What do you think of when you see a newborn baby? Most people think something like, ooh, look how cute that baby is. It's so precious. But that's not what Christianity teaches. Christianity teaches that all humans are born sinful and deserving of God's judgment, and that no amount of good works could ever remove our guilt. So if God suffered the punishment for our sins, that means we're off the hook, right? Not so fast. You see, there is a stipulation. God will only forgive you if you believe that he did that. That's right. According to Christianity, you are doomed unless you believe that the almighty, all-knowing, all-powerful creator of the universe made the world and everything in it, then created two people, one of which ate a magical fruit that gave her knowledge of good and evil, and because she gained knowledge of good and evil, her descendants were then doomed until God makes himself into a man, comes down to earth, gets himself murdered, comes back to life, all to atone for the woman eating the magical fruit. We talk about fear-based marketing. I mean, this is fear-based marketing 101. According to Christianity, heaven is full of sinners who believe in God, and hell is full of righteous people who don't believe in God. Thankfully, we know that none of this is true. You don't have to be afraid of going to hell for not believing in the Bible or believing in God. So, how do we know that the Bible is not true? Let's get started. First, I would like to remind you of a little thing called confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is a type of cognitive bias that involves favoring information that confirms our previously existing beliefs. This is often done unintentionally, but as researchers, it is our responsibility to make sure that we reduce our own confirmation bias. This can be done by seeking information from a range of sources, preferably sources that disagree with one another, using techniques to consider situations from multiple perspectives and discussing these perspectives with others. Which brings me to the first source we will use for the purpose of this episode, AnswersInGenesis.org, a Christian website which details why the Bible is true. According to AnswersInGenesis.org, the Bible includes major moral failings of its heroes, yet most other religious writings tend to whitewash the flaws of their heroes. So right off the bat, we have a problem. The Bible is guilty of whitewashing moral failings of its heroes as well, especially those of Jesus. For example, there are many stories about Jesus as a child which have been omitted from the Bible, one of which Jesus actually kills another kid. But they took this out of the Bible in an effort to make Jesus seem more real. How would removing the story of Jesus killing another kid make Jesus seem more real? Well, because there are other older stories where mythical figures also have done the same thing when they were children. So if Jesus does the same thing as these other mythical figures, he looks more mythical rather than as a real person. So the compilers of the Bible simply omitted these books. AnswersInGenesis.org goes on to say that the Bible accurately reveals historical people and places. Does this mean that the Bible is true? Well, not necessarily, because there is a genre called historical fiction, which is a fictional account that takes place in the actual past. The best example is Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. You remember that movie, right? Where Abraham Lincoln goes around killing vampires and is really bloody and gory. Well, Abraham Lincoln is a real person who was the president during the Civil War, but he wasn't a damn vampire slayer. The story is fiction. So while the Bible may include people that actually existed, such as King David or Pontius Pilate, we don't necessarily know if the things that were attributed to these people were actually historical events. We need extra biblical evidence in order to conclude that. Evidence that we simply don't have. Strike two for the Christians. The Christian website goes on to talk about an archaeologist, Dr. William F. Albright, who asserted the accuracy of the Bible's history. Quote, "Thanks to modern research, we now recognize in its substantial historicity the narratives of the patriarchs of Moses and Exodus and the conquest of Canaan, of the judges, the monarchy, exile, and restoration have all been confirmed and illustrated to an extent that I should have thought impossible 40 years ago." End quote. However, when we look at BibleArchaeology.org, we find that there have been many new discoveries and additional analysis done, which largely overturn Albright's theories since his death in 1971. Although many people, including Kenneth Kitchen, has made a determined effort to keep the theory alive, there is no valid evidence, biblical or extra-biblical, to sustain it. Even the biblical account clearly dates the Exodus conquest in the 15th century BC and not the 13th century as Albright suggested. On top of that, the majority of Palestinian archaeologists have rejected the concept of an Exodus conquest altogether in favor of other hypotheses for the origin of Israel. The most popular theory today is that Israel did not originate outside of Canaan, but rather arose from the indigenous population in the 12th century BC. But that's all Old Testament stuff. What about the New Testament? It's more recent, so there's got to be more evidence for the stories in the New Testament, right? And it turns out there actually is. For example, in the book of Luke, the proper location of Apollonia, where travelers would spend successive nights, is mentioned. The presence of a synagogue in Thessalonica, the proper title politarchs used for the magistrates there. The correct implication that sea travel was the most convenient way of reaching Athens, which favored the east winds of summer sailing. They mentioned the abundance of the presence of images in Athens, the reference to a synagogue in Athens. They detail a fairly accurate reaction of Greek philosophers who denied bodily resurrection. And they even used the proper title for members of the court, Areopagites. However, everything I just listed can be found in the same chapter, so this doesn't lend credence to the historicity of the entire Bible. Rather, it only proves that the author of Luke had some intimate knowledge of the people and the places he was writing about. Remember what we said about historical fiction and Abraham Lincoln not being a real vampire slayer? Well, this could be true for the book of Luke as well. Furthermore, none of these things touches on the real meat of the Bible, i.e. Jesus and the virgin birth and the resurrection. That's what we care about. Is that true? Luke doesn't talk about that in any of these accounts. So the fact that some things are accurate is utterly trivial in the sense of proving that the Bible is true, at least the parts that we care about. Think about our example of Abraham Lincoln. If I told you that Abraham Lincoln was a vampire slayer and you said you didn't believe me, and then I showed you a movie that had all of the correct names and places, does that prove that Abraham Lincoln was a vampire slayer? No. And the book of Luke doesn't prove that Jesus resurrected or was born of a virgin. AnswersInGenesis.org goes on to say that the crucifixion of Jesus under Pontius Pilate has been proven through the writings of Tacitus. This is simply not true, because Tacitus is not a contemporary of Jesus, meaning he was writing about 70 years after Jesus would have been crucified if he actually was. So this guy wasn't even born yet when this happened, so he didn't know if this event actually took place. At best, he was retelling a story. But it turns out that Tacitus was actually a Roman senator. So if anybody was going to lie about Jesus being crucified, it would be somebody like Tacitus. I mean, think about it. It's not like they invented writing in the 2nd century. They had writing before Jesus was born. So you mean to tell me this guy lived this life and nobody wrote about him or him getting crucified and coming back from the dead until the next century? That's crazy. That would be like 9/11 happening and nobody writes about it or talks about it until 70 years later. Major events get talked about more than mundane events. So something major like a Masonic figure rising from the dead or being crucified, that would be noteworthy. But we have precisely 0 contemporary writings for the life of Jesus or the death and crucifixion of Jesus. And that would be strike 4 for the Christians. Well, y'all struck out a long time ago, but we're going to keep going. So how do we know that the Bible is not true? Well, in the book of Isaiah, God presents a challenge to all of the other religions in the world. And I quote Isaiah chapter 41, verse 21. "Present your case, says the Lord. Bring forth your strong reasons, says the King of Jacob. Let them bring forth and show us what will happen. Let them show the former things what they were, that we may consider them, and know the latter end of them, or declare to us things to come. Show the things that are to come hereafter, that we may know that you are gods." So in the Bible, this challenge is presented to the other religions, asking, can they accurately foretell future events? Well, the problem is, the Bible can't even accurately foretell future events. All of the so-called prophecies in the Bible are not prophecies at all. They're just simply people writing about what they think will happen or what they want to happen. And then later on, sometimes hundreds of years later, another writer comes on and writes that that thing happened. Does that mean that it actually happened? Imagine this. I, Kweli Kush, the atheist, writes a book And it says that in 20 years, there will be a house on the land where there isn't a house now. And 20 years later, I build a house there. Is that a prophecy, or was I just telling you what I was planning on doing anyway? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 42, verse 8, which says, I am the Lord, that is my name, and my glory I will not give to another, nor my praise to carved images. Behold, the former things have come to pass, and new things I declare before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Really? You do? Because you didn't mention germs or the fact that washing our hands could prevent a lot of diseases and illness in the world. That would be something that a God would put in the Bible, right? I mean, think of all the sicknesses and deaths that could have been prevented by simply telling people that germs exist and you should wash your hands. Well, this isn't mentioned in the Bible because clearly the Bible wasn't written by an all-knowing God, and the people who wrote it can't tell the future. I hear arguments of prophecies from Christians all the time. So if you believe that there are prophecies that have been fulfilled in the Bible, please call in. Now is your time to prove to me, and you might just convert me to an atheist. Because if you can prove to me that there are some prophecies that have actually been fulfilled in the Bible, I would take that into serious consideration on my position. So please call in and tell us what these prophecies are and how they have been fulfilled. I dare you. Now, let's talk about camels. Why? Camels play a central role in the book of Genesis and are mentioned as pack animals in the biblical stories of Abraham, Joseph, and Jacob. But according to newly published research by Tel Aviv University, based on radiocarbon dating and evidence unearthed in excavations, camels were not domesticated in the land of Israel until the late 10th century BC, several centuries after the time they appear in the Bible. The university states, and I quote, in addition to challenging the Bible's historicity, this anachronism is direct proof that the text was compiled well after the events it describes. End quote. Robert Eisenman, a professor of Middle East religions and archaeology, states that we have known about this camel anachronism for over a century now from site analysis. The Hebrews were donkey people living on the coastlines and water routes, not camel people. Most of the proof we have that the Bible is not true comes from the very first book, Genesis. Genesis claims that the first human couple was Adam and Eve. But we know from analyzing the fossil record that humans did not suddenly appear on Earth, but rather they evolved gradually over the course of about 6 million years. People often get confused when they hear scientists refer to Y chromosome Adam and mitochondrial Eve. However, these two individuals simply passed down a portion of their genomes to the vast expanse of humanity, and they may have lived around the same time, but were not contemporaries of each other. So attempts to reconcile genetics with Genesis are very unlikely to succeed. And just to set the record straight, they were not the only man and woman alive at the time, or the only people to have present-day offspring. These individuals simply had the good fortune of successfully passing on specific portions of their DNA from the man, the Y chromosome, and from the woman, the mitochondrial genome, through the millennia to most of us today, while the corresponding sequences of others have largely died out. So not only does the evidence that we observe directly contradict the story of Genesis, but so does common sense. Women give birth to men, not the other way around. Another big clue that tells us the Bible is not true is the fact that the Bible claims that God can see the future and tell us the future, yet he still made Adam and Eve, knowing that Eve would eventually sin and doom mankind and he would have to flood the whole earth and kill everybody and make Noah. Well, if he was an all-knowing God, he could have just made Noah to begin with. Or hell, better yet, just started off with Jesus. Or hell, better yet, just made everybody in heaven. But God made Adam and Eve, so he couldn't have known the future. If he did, it's almost like he's dooming us himself because he knew it was going to happen. So clearly this all-knowing attribute that people attribute to God and that the Bible claims that God has cannot be true at the same time that Genesis is true. Something's got to give. Either it's all bullshit or one of them is bullshit, but they both can't be true. God can't be all-knowing and make Adam and Eve knowing what's going to happen and then come back and try to redeem what happened. That is idiotic and senseless and pointless, and an all-knowing being would know that, especially if it can see the damn future. Likewise, we have overwhelming evidence that the flood mentioned in the Bible never happened. There have been hundreds of archaeological excavations that have attempted to find evidence of an apocalyptic flood such as is described in both the Bible and the Epic of Gilgamesh, but precisely zero have succeeded. There is no trace anywhere on the planet of a devastating global flood. And not to mention the simple fact that there is not enough water molecules on the planet to cover the entire surface of the planet up to Mount Everest. Another clue that tells us the Bible is not true is that there is absolutely no proof that the Exodus and the related miracles, the devastating plagues, the burning bush, the parted sea, the manna in the wilderness, actually occurred. While turning up artifacts as far back as the late Stone Age, excavations in Sinai did not produce a single piece of evidence for the Israelites' 40-year wandering in the desert. Most biblical scholars today widely agree that there was never any mass migration of the proportions described in the Bible. It is estimated that the diaspora would have numbered around some 2 million people out of an entire Egyptian population in 1250 BC that would have been about 3 million. Not to mention all three of the world's main monotheistic religions, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, love to talk about Moses. He takes up about 15% of the Christian Bible and is mentioned 136 times in the Quran, more than any other prophet. He remains a universal symbol of liberation, leadership, and law. He was immortalized by Michelangelo. However, archaeologists and biblical critics argue that there is no direct evidence for Moses' existence. And much like many other parts of the Bible, details about Moses' life, such as him floating as a baby in the basket in the Nile, appear to originate from earlier legends. So what have we learned? Through the fossil record, we know that Adam and Eve never existed, and we just learned that Moses never existed. But let's talk about somebody who actually did exist. King Herod. King Herod was the ruler of Judea from 37 BC to 4 BC, and he was a bloody tyrant. In fact, he actually had several members of the Jewish government be executed when he died so that people would be sad. However, there is no record that King Herod's massacre of the innocents, as depicted in the book of Matthew, actually happened, in which he attempted to kill every male child under 2 in his kingdom in an attempt to destroy the baby Jesus. This, much like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer, is an example of historical fiction. People often mistake King Herod for being a Jewish king, when in fact, he wasn't a Jewish king. He was just the king of the Jews. He was actually polytheistic, and he believed in a lot of different religions and would have different shrines built for different religious groups, in which he wanted to endear himself to all over the Roman Mediterranean. Now let's get to some controversial topics. The contradictions in the Bible. Oh yeah, many Christians love to claim that the Bible doesn't have contradictions, but read them and weep. We about to go through them. All right, let's get it. Jesus is claimed in the book of Matthew to be born during the time of King Herod's reign. And in the Gospel of Luke, Jesus is said to be born when Quirinius was governor of Syria. However, Quirinius didn't become governor of Syria until about 11 years after King Herod died. So clearly, the Gospel of Luke and the Gospel of Matthew cannot both be correct about this. This is a contradiction, folks. Second contradiction, in the book of Luke, Mary and Joseph lived in Nazareth and then moved to Bethlehem, where Jesus was born in a stable. However, Matthew says that they lived in Bethlehem and then moved to Nazareth after Jesus was born. Well, which one is it? Somebody doesn't have their story right. Either way, the Bible contradicts the Bible. So please stop saying that there are no contradictions in the Bible. Read your damn book. I'm not going to read it to you. Let's keep it rolling. In Matthew chapter 1, verse 20, the angel spoke to Joseph. But in Luke chapter 1, verse 28, the angel spoke to Mary. Uh-oh. The Bible says, honor your father and your mother. Yet Jesus says you must hate your father, your mother, your wife, and your children, and even your own life to be a disciple. Says, call no man on earth your father. Uh-oh. God says thou shalt not kill, yet then he advocates genocide and even orders it in Exodus and Leviticus. Uh-oh. The Bible also says that God is all-knowing and can see the future and even tell us the future. But if that's true, then why did he need people to mark their houses with blood in order to keep from killing their babies inside? I mean, wouldn't an all-knowing God know which house to pass over? Okay, so far, we've talked about how the Bible contradicts itself. We've went over some inconsistencies with the claimed attributes of God and what is claimed about God in the Bible. We have explored some scientific inaccuracies in archaeological data that disproves the Bible. Now let's get into how the Bible is eerily similar to stories that predate the Bible by thousands of years. So in order to do this, I want to have a little bit of viewer participation. So now is your time to interact with us. So we're going to play a little game. I like to call this game Gilgamesh or Genesis. It's real easy. I'm going to make a statement that came from a story, either the story of Genesis or the story of Gilgamesh. All you have to do is type in a live chat which story I'm quoting from. A for Genesis, B for Gilgamesh, C for both, or D for none of the above. Okay, let's get started, shall we? Number 1. God decided to send a worldwide flood. This would drown men, women, children, babies, and infants, as well as eliminate all of the land of animals and birds. So which story did this come from? Genesis, Gilgamesh, both, or neither? Type your answer in the live chat now. If you said A, you're correct. If you said B or C, you're also correct, because the story happened in both Genesis and Gilgamesh. There was a worldwide flood that drowned everybody, eliminating all the animals and birds on the land. Number 2, God knew of one righteous man. What story did this come from? Genesis or Gilgamesh? A for Genesis, B for Gilgamesh, C for both, or D for none of the above? Type your answer in the live chat now. And the correct answer is C. Both stories depict of God knowing of only one righteous man. In Genesis, the man is Noah, and in the Epic of Gilgamesh, his name is Utnapishtim. Number 3, God ordered a hero to build a multi-story wooden ark, and the hero initially complained about the assignment to build the ark. Which story did it happen in? A, B, C, or D? Type your answer in the live chat now. So I see some of y'all had caught on. The correct answer is C, both. Now keep in mind that while playing this game, the Epic of Gilgamesh is an epic poem from Mesopotamia that predates the Bible by about 2,000 years. Number 4, the ark would have had many compartments, a single door, was sealed with pitch, and would house 2 of every animal species. What story is this from? Genesis, Gilgamesh, both, or neither? You guessed it, both. Number 5, a great rain covered the land with water. Now this is easy. Did it happen in Genesis, Gilgamesh, both, or neither? That's right. In both stories, a great rain covered the land with water. Now, number 6, the ark landed on the mountain in the Middle East. So which story was this? Which story did the ark land in the Middle East? Genesis or Gilgamesh? Or was it both? Or neither? Maybe it's a trick question. Type your answer in the live chat now. And I can't get nothing past y'all. Y'all got it again. C, both. Number 7, first 2 birds returned to the ark. The third bird apparently found dry land because it did not return. Now, which story is this from? Genesis, Gilgamesh, both, or neither? Now, see, I tried to trip you up that time, but the answer is both. C. Number 8. The hero and his family left the ark, ritually killed an animal, offered it as a sacrifice. A, B, C, or D? Type your answer in the live chat now. And yes, this did happen in both the Epic of Gilgamesh and the story of Genesis. The answer is C. Now, I know some of y'all gonna get this one wrong. One of these stories, either the Epic of Gilgamesh or the Book of Genesis, depicts the gods being sorry after the genocide that they had committed. Which story was it? Genesis, Gilgamesh, both, or neither? Lo and behold, the answer is C. Both. The Babylonian gods did seem genuinely sorry in the Epic of Gilgamesh for the genocide, and the god in the Bible apparently was sorry because he promised never to do it again. Now keep in mind, folks, the level of detail in these stories. It's not just a matter of a flood happening in both stories, but there are specific details. 3 birds sent out, resisting the call to build the ark in the beginning, a single man being chosen by God to build the ark. Now, consider the fact that the story of Gilgamesh predates the Bible by about 2,000 years. So do you honestly think that the writers of the Bible had never heard of the story of Gilgamesh? And if they had heard it, that means they were simply rehashing an old popular tale. So what does that say about the Bible's truthfulness? Now let's talk about the life of Jesus. Jesus, revered by many because they believed that he was born of a virgin and died and resurrected, performed miracles like healing the sick, walking on water, turning water into wine, etc., etc. But what if I told you that Jesus wasn't the first person to do any of those things? Actually, he was the last one. There are many characters that predate Jesus by thousands of years that we all consider to be mythical, but they are told to do some of the things that Jesus has done, including the virgin birth and the resurrection. There is that of Asclepios, who healed the sick, raised the dead, and was known as a savior and a redeemer. And then we have the myth of Hercules, who was born of a divine father and a mortal mother, just like Jesus, and was known as the savior of his world. And we have that of Dionysus, who was thought to literally be the son of God, born from a woman who had not had sex with a man, and was depicted riding a donkey. He was a traveling teacher who performed miracles and was killed and resurrected, after which time he became immortal. Again, that's Dionysus, not Jesus. Then we have that of Osiris, who did all of those things and was born of a virgin, was considered the first true king of the people, and when he died, he rose from the grave and went to heaven. Osiris' son, Horus, was known as the light of the world, the good shepherd, and the lamb. He was also referred to as the way, the truth, and the life. His symbol was a cross-like symbol. And there's that of Mithra, whose birthday was celebrated, guess when? On December 25th, his birth was witnessed by local shepherds who brought him gifts. He had 12 disciples, and when he was done on earth, he had a final meal before going up to heaven. Sound familiar? On Judgment Day, he will return to pass judgment on the living and the dead. The good will go to heaven, and the evil will die in a giant fire. His holiday is on Sunday, because he's the sun god. His followers called themselves brothers, and their leaders fathers. They had baptism and a meal ritual where symbolic flesh and blood were eaten. Heaven was in the sky, and hell was below with the demons and sinners. And then we have the myth of Krishna, who had a miraculous conception where 3 wise men were able to come to because they were guided by a star. After he was born, an area ruler tried to have him found and killed. His parents were warned by a divine messenger. However, they escaped and were met by shepherds. The boy grew up to be a mediator between God and man. And then there's Buddha, whose mother was told by an angel that she'd give birth to a holy child destined to be a savior. As a child, he teaches the priests in his temple about religion while his parents look for him. He starts his religious career about 30 years of age and is said to have spoken to 12 disciples on his deathbed. One of his disciples is his favorite, and another is a traitor. He and his disciples abstained from wealth and traveled around speaking in parables and metaphors. He called himself the Son of Man and was referred to as a prophet, master, and Lord. He healed the sick, cured the blind and deaf, and walked on water. One of his disciples tried to walk on water as well, but was sunk because his faith wasn't strong enough. Then you have Apollonius, who actually lived in the time that Jesus was alleged to live, and some people even think that the story of Jesus was adopted from Apollonius' life. Apollonius was said to perform countless miracles like healing the sick and restoring sight to the blind. He casted out demons, and he was born of a virgin. He knew the scripture well as a child. He was crucified, rose from the dead, and appeared to his disciples to prove his power before going to heaven to sit at the right hand of the Father. He was known as the Son of God as well. So how do all of these similarities with the life of Jesus prove that the Bible is not true? Well, simply because all of these mythical characters existed in story form thousands of years before Jesus was alleged to even live. And with that said, I would like to remind everybody that everything we have covered in this episode is merely the tip of the iceberg. There's lots of more information that will convince you, if you are willing to look at it, that the Bible is in fact fiction. So what do we mean when we say the Bible is fiction? There's plenty of factually true statements in almost all works of fiction. But it is how they function strategically and rhetorically that counts. If I start off by saying once upon a time, I'm inviting you into an exercise in fictionalization. Even if I say something true after that. Once upon a time, there was a president named Nixon, and he was almost impeached. This is true. But nonetheless, you wonder, what's your point? What moral are you pointing to by making it a once upon a time statement? Once upon a time, like fiction in general, goes beyond concerns for the truth or falsity of what really happened. Fiction is like drama, where the historical accuracy behind, let's say, Shakespeare's Richard III is not an issue. The real Richard wasn't as bad as Shakespeare portrayed him, but it doesn't matter. Shakespeare's point is a moral one, not a historical one. Moral in the sense of providing a lesson about the human condition. Both fiction and drama are presentational modes of communication. They work as art. They have a presentational point to make. By contrast, Sigmund Freud's Totem and Taboo is not presentational. It is written rather artfully in places, but its artistry is beside the point, whereas the artfulness of fiction is not. However well Freud wrote it, Totem and Taboo is an altogether erroneous account of the way ritual developed historically. Freud meant it as science, and its problem, therefore, is that it is not good science, not that it is fiction. The Bible, however, is fiction because overall its authors meant it as presentation, not as science or even as history, which is a form of science with its own scientific rules of evidence. Sometimes they accepted the truth of the stories they used, but sometimes they did not. Job and Esther describe personalities who never lived, and the authors knew it. Some of it reports historical fact. Of course, there was a person named King David, and there was a Babylonian invasion, etc. There was also a prophet named Isaiah, but his prophecies were included in the Bible to give us a lesson of morality, not to say that they were actually true or that they happened. The same is true of Genesis through Deuteronomy, Kings, Judges, and all the other books, some of whose characters really lived and some of whom didn't. It doesn't matter. Fiction can be chock full of characters who really lived with a storyline of things they really did and still be fiction. So I want to thank y'all for watching and participating with me tonight. At this point in time, we're going to open up the phone lines for discussion. If you want to add your 2 cents to what I said, or if you disagree with something I said, or if you have any questions, now is the time to call in and ask your question or state your comment. The link is in the live chat and also in the description below, and you can see the phone number right there on the bottom of the screen. Now, when you call in, people, first of all, this is going to be a respectful dialogue between the host and the viewers. We don't tolerate disrespect. We don't disrespect you. You don't disrespect us. Cool? Got it. And when you call in, I want to know the answer to some questions. So if you can answer any of these questions, please, now's the time to call in and do so. I want to know, how is Jesus' crucifixion a sacrifice if he rose from the dead? I mean, when you sacrifice something, it's gone. But Jesus rose from the dead 3 days later. So was it really a sacrifice, or was it a bad weekend? I mean, if he was immortal in the beginning of time and he's immortal today, where's the sacrifice? I also want to know that if Jesus' death was supposed to be the sacrifice for our sins, then how come we still have to accept him as our savior to avoid an eternity in hell? What did his death really accomplish? I also want to know, why does the Bible talk constantly about how to manage slaves and how to kill one's enemies, but doesn't talk about things that we think should be straightforward things we would get from a Bible, like wash your hands and prevent illness and disease? Don't touch little kids in a sexual way. Like, why isn't any of that stuff in the Bible? And also, I want to know, why does the Bible mirror stories that predate the Bible by thousands of years? Why is the life of Jesus so eerily similar to other mythical figures? Is the Bible a big book of plagiarism, or is there some other explanation here? These are the things I want to know from Christians or Bible believers. Please call in now and let me know. And while y'all get y'all calls together, your phone, your computer, or whatever, get your hair together, make sure you're looking all right, because you're going to be on camera. Get you a sip of water so you don't sound crazy. We're going to go to commercial break. We'll be right back after this. I absolutely love to read books, but honestly, sometimes I just don't feel like it. That's why I'm so grateful that I have a membership with Audible. Now I can have someone read books to me on demand whenever I want. Now I can listen to audiobooks while I'm exercising, cleaning the house, or visiting the royal throne. Sometimes I even like to listen to audiobooks as I fall asleep. It's actually quite relaxing. My Audible membership gives me thousands of books to choose from, which is why I'm recommending it to you. And if you use the link in the description, you can get 2 free audiobooks. That's 2 books of your choice, absolutely free, just for signing up via the link in the description. And you can even give Audible as a gift for someone you care about. Join Audible today. Hey, what's up? This is your boy Kweli Kush. If you like the videos on this channel, then why not visit our website, kwelikush.com. We post every day with topics ranging from religion to science, critical thinking, black-owned businesses, and much, much more. On the website, you'll also find links to all of the other social media related to Kweli Kush. I personally post a book recommendation daily to the blog, and we are 420 friendly. So come on down, visit us, leave a comment, and let us know what you think. kwelikush.com.
Heaven and earth, fuck that, all that shit. Y'all hoes gotta get off this corner with that.
We're gonna get right back to the show, ladies and gentlemen, but first, please take a moment to hit the like button.
Push the button.
If it's your first time here, hit the subscribe button.
Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
If you're already subscribed, make sure you hit the little bell icon. That way you get a notification every time we post a new video.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button.
You heard what she said.
I absolutely love to read books, but honestly, sometimes I just don't feel like it. That's why I'm so grateful that I have a membership with Audible. Now I can have someone read books to me on demand whenever I want. Now I can listen to audiobooks while I'm exercising, cleaning the house, or visiting the royal throne. Sometimes I even like to listen to audiobooks as I fall asleep. It's actually quite relaxing. My Audible membership gives me thousands of books to choose from, which is why I'm recommending it to you. And if you use the link in the description, you can get 2 free audiobooks. That's 2 books of your choice, absolutely free, just for signing up via the link in the description. And you can even give Audible as a gift for someone you care about. Join Audible today.
nothing much, man. Everything is going just fine, bro. Man, it's been a crazy week for me, man. But yeah, man, shoot, you really killed it, man, with your presentation, man. I don't think we can do any damage. Like you said in the beginning, Christianity took a loss a long time ago. Even Christianity took a loss even when it first got started. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, how did this motherfucker gain traction? How did it even gain that much traction even within the black community? And no matter what you show black people, even showing them this objective and empirical evidence, they're still going to reject it. You know why? Because of the fire insurance. Well, let me believe just in case this is true. Let me believe if Kweli's right, then they ain't got nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? But if he's wrong, I got everything to lose if I believe him. So that's Pascal's wager. So you already know. So even with the people I even tried to tag the guy I beat up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, the debate was a good battle. You know what I'm saying? It was a good back and forth. If they was on the show, they would saying that they would call you a straw man. They would say that you did a lot of straw manning, but they would have to prove where you did the straw man in that. So, but yeah, man, you really killed it, man. But you can't straw man the truth. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I really enjoyed the presentation, man. And me coming out of Christianity when I was 28 after coming out of seminary, Jarvis Christian College, it really gave me some kind of okay. I was just what's going on my computer? So I forgot you had this one. But yeah, man. So this type of information really helped me out. You know what I'm saying? And I've been trying to get my girl on it. You know what I'm saying? But she still go to church every Sunday. But like I said, it's for her fire insurance. She said, "Well, what if you wrong?" So what if you wrong? And well, if I'm wrong, I ain't got nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? If I'm wrong, if I'm right, then I got everything to lose, or something like that. She was saying. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? What makes you? Yeah, that's the whole. When we did that presentation about which heaven would you go to if you believe in the Christian heaven and hell? You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? I said, well, what if you wake up in the Hindu heaven or hell? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because if everybody had these near-death experiences, and they always say they're like people in India, they say that they seen Vishnu. People in America say they seen Jesus. So how do we know this is right when you got two different religions saying they seen their deity? You know what I'm saying? The people in Greece said they probably seen Hercules or something. You know what I'm saying? So how do we know that these near-death experiences are true? We cannot. You can't test it. You know what I'm saying? Your body don't gain weight when you leave your body and all this other bull. Oh, come on. It's just like, this is the thing. See, Christianity teaches that, I think Christianity teaches the whole death concept, the soul concept, which they basically got it from ancient people. You know what I'm saying? It talks about the soul, solar, the solar plex. You know what I'm saying? That's where all that come from. But when Christianity got their hands on that concept, that's when they started teaching that, well, if you be a good person on earth and you do what we say and all this other stuff, your soul is going to send to heaven. But if you be a bad person, you're going to go to the fiery lake, the lake of fire and all this other bullshit. It sounds like a Santa Claus concept to me, because that's how you get kids to behave throughout the year. Well, if you don't be good all year, Santa Claus not going to buy you that Xbox One X when Christmas time comes around. So you better be good all year, or you won't get it at the end. See, that's why Christmas is at the end of the solar year. You know what I'm saying? So, and they have to use that concept, like, my mom still does that to her grandson. You know what I'm saying? Not my son, because my son know better, but my sister's son. You know what I'm saying? She still do that Santa Claus shit with him. I'm like, Mama, that boy is not going. Anyways.
Yes. I want somebody out there in the audience to call in or click the link and, burst my bubble. Tell me that I'm wrong and why I'm wrong, because I don't want to be wrong no more. I want you to correct me so that I can be correct.
Yeah, we want to be converted, man. We want y'all to just give us the light of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Bring the light of Christ to us. That's why we have this call-in show. You know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to get the truth, because apparently this belief system is still gaining so much traction. It's not even funny. So we want to know what y'all feeling, because we couldn't when we tried the shit, we couldn't really feel it. We couldn't feel the Holy Ghost. None of that shit, man. We thought we was feeling it, but it was just really like it's like listening to your favorite song, right? I know when your favorite song come on in the club, you get really hyped. Just like in the church, when you listen to when a church song that really tackles your emotions, you get really emotional. Like any song, they can feel the Holy Ghost with any song. It's really not feeling the Holy Ghost, you know what I'm saying? It's the vibrations and the beats of the music that actually gets you going. You know what I'm saying? You be sitting in your car on your radio, you be listening to, oh, I'm tired of hearing Drake. But next thing you know, another song comes on and you be like, oh, this is my shit. Same thing with the church, you know what I'm saying? You be like, oh, you know, happy day or whatever. But then there's that special church song that they always sing comes on or whatever. That's when it really gets your emotion. It's really an emotional connection to the music. You know what I'm saying? Emotional and physical connection. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the whole singing in the choir, bringing music. A lot of Christians don't even do that. What's that, like Church of God in Christ? They don't do that. They don't sing hymns and all that stuff. They don't play music. Is it Jehovah's Witnesses, Church of God in Christ? They don't play music, instruments. They just sing hymns and stuff. But what is that doing though? You know, nothing. It's not doing a goddamn thing for you. You know, my girl thinks if she give the church $5 every week, that she's gonna get a blessing.
Well, next time she go to church, ask her what she learned today. What you learned at church today, babe?
I did ask her that. She told me the same thing she told me last Sunday.
What, not a damn thing?
Yeah, exactly. Told me the same thing that last Sunday, nothing. So, yeah. She came home. We both ate and we drank. I drank my liquor and she drank her wine, and we watched a good old Black Lifetime movie. So that's pretty much what we do on Sundays. I cleaned it. Yeah, go ahead.
So many people still believe in the religion, or at least part of the reason. At least 50% of it is because it gets reinforced. When you go to church every week, it gets reinforced. Or even if you just go like once a year, some people only go on holidays and stuff, but that's still reinforcing this idea in your head. So I want everybody right now, if y'all can hear me, just imagine, try to remember when you first found out about God. You probably were so young that you can't remember it, but try to remember when the first memory you have about learning about God. And did you find out about God the way you find out about other things? Like the first time you touched yourself and you felt that tingle? That was real. That was tangible. You didn't have to hear about that. God didn't come touch you and you feel something. You just heard about God, I'm pretty sure. So if you were that young when you got introduced to the idea, pretty much any idea that you get introduced to at that age, and then it gets reinforced every week, 52 times a year, you're gonna fucking believe it. I mean, it's just like it keeps getting reinforced in your head. Like some people believe in a lot of stuff that's not real. You know, like ghosts, demons. Some people believe they got superpowers. Some people think they psychic, or they can divine water. You got a lot of people that believe in a lot of stuff. Not to mention that none of these people has ever proven it, but they still believe it. So if people can believe in fantastical things, which we know they can, and it's getting reinforced, that's why so many people believe in it. And if you want to go back to the very beginning, when the religion first started, it wasn't a matter of convincing people, it was force. Christianity and imperialism go hand in hand. So the Roman Empire, when they were the force to be reckoned with in the world, they were spreading Christianity. So every time they would go colonize somebody, they would make them convert to their religion. And over generations and generation, you know, people started to identify as Christian rather than whatever religion they were before. And it's not just Christianity. There was a lot of religions doing that. Christianity just won. They just became the most popular, Christianity and Islam and Judaism. But they all, you know, spring out of Judaism. But it's a matter of reinforcing these ideas over and over again and forcing you to believe it. Because I know some people get forced to go to church. Like when I was a kid, I used to get forced to go to church. I ain't like it because I wanted to stay at home and go outside and play with my friends because they was outside playing. And I had to go to church every week. And I was like, man, I want to go outside. And church was so boring. I'd be in there about to fall asleep. But, you know, I still felt some kind of way when they passed the collection plate around and I didn't put nothing in it. It make you feel shitty. So it kind of make you give the church money because you feel like you're missing out or you left out, you're not part of the crew if you ain't putting no money in the plate. But then when you get older and you realize, wait a minute, this church ain't got to say what they do with the money. I don't see nothing new in this church. But the pastor got a new car. Pastor got a few new cars.
Man, you know, the pastors, they don't even believe their own shit. You know what I'm saying? They doing it because they know that people are gullible and they're gonna buy into it. They're gonna buy into this tithes and offerings, but they don't even read the book on tithes and offerings. You know what I'm saying? I can bring Tazaria scary ass up in this motherfucker, and he'll tell you that the tithes and offerings is bullshit. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's, you know, and it boggles my mind that they don't believe they're Christians either. But the fact of the matter is, Tazaria be asking for donations though. So Tazaria told me that those pastors are really asking for donations, and they do got the misconceptions on tithes and offerings. I mean, come on, man. I know the church I went to in the South, man, down here in Texas, we had like 3 collection plates passed around for real. Like, come on, God gonna bless you. Come on, just give to the Lord. Lord needs building of his kingdom. I said, well, how many Mexicans do this nigga got? You know what I'm saying? That he need to pay to build this damn kingdom. You know, man, I know them niggas ain't gonna take no more than $5 an hour. You know what I'm saying? So what God needs this extra money for? Man, to me, God is like Suge Knight, bro. I'm just saying, back in the day, man, for real. Yeah. So, damn, boy. The Death Row Records, nigga. You don't believe in me, nigga? I'm sending your ass to Death Row. Nigga.
You know, I would respect the religion more if they just called it that. If they said, you know what I'm saying, get down to lay down, motherfucker. And I would probably respect it more. But they try to trick you into believing the shit. Like, oh, we love you, but you don't believe you're going to go to hell. You know, so that's why I started the video off explaining to people that it's the belief that they want to get you to have, not the fact that you're a good person. A lot of people like to say, oh, I'm a Christian, and what they really mean is I'm a good person. But Christianity and being a good person don't go together. Christianity is all about belief. It ain't about what you do. So get that through y'all head. You can do whatever you want to do and go to heaven if the Bible is true. All you got to do is believe. So you can be Ted Bundy, you can be Adolf Hitler. If you believe in Jesus and he saved you and resurrected for your sins or whatever, then you going to heaven. So God is like the most irresponsible parent ever, because he could see the future and he knew what was going to happen, but he still created mankind just to kill them all and flood the earth.
Is it funny that God needed sin to? It seemed like God needed sin for his creations to work.
He must have.
Because why would God put a tree of knowledge of good and evil, or tree of knowledge? Let's just call it that. Tree of knowledge, good for food, pleasing to the eye, and good for gaining knowledge. Those are 3 good attributes to that tree, but it's supposed to be bad. So how you gonna have good attributes to a tree that's supposed to be bad? And it's like, and I asked Christians can't even answer this question. I said, what if Adam and Eve obeyed God? What if they never ate the tree of knowledge? You know what I'm saying? So that lets me know that God needed that to happen so he can have a reason to create hell, and the reason to send himself on a suicide mission in human form, so he can basically create this hell, you know what I'm saying, and create the rules defined by whether you go there or not. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, well, if you and it's based on belief. It's not if you're a good person or not. It's based on if you just believe or not. So you can be a motherfucking Ted Bundy, but on your death, when they get ready to kill you, you can say, I accept you as my Lord and Savior. And God will say, okay, come on in, my son. I don't care how many women you done killed and guts you done fucked and shit like that. You're still my son and I love you. Come on, man.
Right. And let me ask you a question. When you answer in the complete sentence, because some people probably can't hear the question. But if you say, hypothetically, you and your girl got pregnant, she got pregnant, right? And you had some type of insight into the future, and you knew that your future child was going to grow up to be like the next Adolf Hitler. Would you go ahead and have that child or abort that child?
If I had foreknowledge of me and my girl's child growing up to being Adolf Hitler, damn, that's a real tough question, because I'm pro-life and pro-choice.
You knew he was. If you knew your child was going to grow up and kill like 8 million people, you knew that was going to happen. Would you go ahead and raise that child, or would you say, you know what, we might have to abort this one?
Personally, I would keep the child if I can basically alter the future. But if I knew it was no chance of whatever I do, bought him games, took him fishing, put him in football, he's still gonna do the shit. Nah, I'll get rid of that motherfucker. So, I don't know, man. It's really a toss up, man, because I don't want to sound like I'm gonna kill kids. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, but God was still letting the motherfucker come alive though. So I guess if I say yeah, I would abort the child, that would make God better than me, in a way, because God knew that Adolf Hitler was gonna live, and he killed 8 million people. So,
But that's in God's position, it's a trade off. Cause see, what are you gonna save Adolf Hitler's life or the next Adolf Hitler's life? But you basically killing 8 million people because you allowing him to live, knowing that he's gonna do that. So you could kill one person, or you could kill
to save 1,000, yeah. That's actually kind of a true saying. Like, even though it was like, cause I get the movie reference I'm getting is like from that movie Wanted. She said, "You kill one, save 1,000." You know what I'm saying? So that could be a good thing. But like I said, none of us knew. Nobody knew that, and not even Hitler's parents even knew that he was going to be that. But God, supposedly, if he was real, he knew that shit. So that must have been God's plan. So, yeah, if I knew, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I probably would.
I mean, I know I definitely would. If I knew that my child was gonna grow up to be the next Adolf Hitler, I probably wouldn't want to have that child. You know what I'm saying? I just try again with another one. If I could see the future and I knew that was gonna happen and I couldn't stop it. You know what I mean? But I think the reason why we have these questions is because the Bible is simply not true. That's why it don't make no sense, because it's not true. Because clearly, if it was true, you wouldn't need this fear factor to get people to believe it. You could simply convince people with the evidence. But if somebody tell you, hey man, I want you to believe this, but there's a reward if you believe it and there's a punishment if you don't, but you can't get either one until after you die. Well, how do I know if you're telling the truth? I gotta die to confirm what you're telling me. So you actually asking me to have blind faith. That's why it's so important. And the Bible is actually an acronym for based on illogical beliefs with lack of evidence.
Do we have a call? I heard a beep.
Oh, no, I don't see nobody in here. I was trying to get
Okay.
Sharon Savage on here. She was on earlier, but she left. And somebody else, Jesus TV, I guess he got scared. You know, I don't blame you, because you can't argue with facts. You know what I mean? If we saying 2 + 2 is 4, you can't call up here saying it's 5 and expect to win a debate. You know what I mean? So I know y'all scared to call in, but you know, you the one to be going around believing this shit. All I want y'all to do is stop believing in bullshit and speak up like we speaking up, so that we can move on and actually do things in the world. Imagine if all the people that was praying all the time was actually studying and building stuff. We want some more inventors in the world. You know, we want some more philanthropists in the world. Not no goddamn sheep.
You know, I want to touch on something that you said, man, about the contradictions. And this is one I did forget about when Jesus said, "Don't call no man you must hate your father, mother, sister, brother, child, even yourself in order to follow him." Right. But in the Old Testament, it said you must honor thy mother and father. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, wait a minute, you must love and hate your family? Like, you know, that's why I want Tazaria to come explain, or any Christian apologist to come explain this. Sweetest Taboo said, "How do I click on?" She said she was just in. I don't see this. Oh yeah.
Just click the link and join in, and then we gotta let you in the room. Once you join, we'll just accept you.
Yeah. She's not a Christian, but she's a believer in God. I think she's just like non-denominational. Hold on, let me get her. I'm gonna mute the mic real quick. I'm trying to get her in.
Well, yeah, man. Why he do that? It is a lot of contradictions in the Bible, and really, I didn't spend a lot of time on the contradictions because I've already seen other people like Sinetta go real hard on the contradictions in the Bible. So if you want to know about contradictions, just go there. I didn't want to redo something that's already been done well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not the guy that you got to come to for that per se, but the contradictions are there, and I still hear Hebrew Israelites claiming that there is no contradictions in the Bible, or these fundamentalist Christians claiming that there's no contradictions in the Bible and everything in the Bible is true. And I'm just like, how you figure that? Where you get that from? You know what I'm saying? Like, I will point it out to you. I will show you that 2 + 2 is 4. And if you still come back and say it's 5, brother, I don't know what to do with you. I don't know what to do with you at that point. You know what I'm saying? These folks be tripping. But one thing I can say about Captain Tazariak is at least he has an answer. At least he have an answer. This
Yeah,
be a good answer, but at least he say something.
And as a matter of fact, that nigga know how to pull an answer out of nowhere, bro. It's just like, how this nigga know? Like, damn, like he know how to defend that Bible. He's one of the best Bible defenders I've ever heard. He does better than the apologists. I'm not gonna lie, I gotta give it to Tazariak, man. Even though he don't believe the shit he preaching. I mean, he just doing it to sell his shea butter and get donations. Tazariak don't believe that shit. You know what I'm saying? Tazariak got that. Look, Tazariak came right now, bro. I'm telling you, you will have at least 500 people in your chat. Plus. Because when Tazariak come, he bringing a fleet with him. He bringing all his sheep with him.
Cause see, I be wondering like how the people that be on like the House of Consciousness and other channels, y'all, they been on these shows having debates and conversations for years. I know at some point that shit gotta get to you. Like at some point you got to be like, okay, he got a point about this. Somebody got to have some leeway. Either some non-believers got to become believers, or some believers got to become some non-believers. Ain't no way y'all debating for years and ain't nobody convinced the other person nothing. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to change position at some point. So big up to all the atheists out there, because I know most atheists didn't start out as atheists. You had to change your position, and it takes a lot of courage and intelligence and research to have the fortitude to say, you know what? I might have been wrong about that, what I thought I believed. It take a lot to do that shit. It's not easy to confront your own beliefs. So I commend everybody out there that stand up for the non-believers, the free thinkers, the humanists, the atheists, whatever you want to call yourself. Long as you ain't out here believing in fairy tales, I fucks with you.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, when it comes to that fairy tale, I call it a comic book too. And Christians get mad when I call it a comic book. They think that the world is 6,000 years old. These are, now I'm glad that creationist shit is not as widespread though. Because I don't hear too much about it. I just hear like, I come across creationists a little bit, but I think people that Hebrews, they believe that the world is flat. Some of them do, some of them don't. Tazariak don't believe it's flat, but some other camps believe it's flat. Tazariak, well, all of them do believe in creation.
Because I still need some answers to these questions, you know what I'm saying? I need somebody to tell me, how was it a sacrifice if Jesus was immortal in the beginning of time and he's immortal today? What did killing him for 3 days do? Like, what was the point of that? How was that a sacrifice? If somebody, like, if I'm dating a chick and she say she don't want to be with me no more, but she only leave for 3 days, and then she come back and say she want to be with me again, did we really break up? I don't call that a breakup 3 days, like, and I don't call that a sacrifice either.
Exactly.
Nothing happened. Nothing changed.
Because resurrection of a sacrifice negates the point of a sacrifice. So it's not a sacrifice because they say we the true and living God. But nigga, did he die? That's why I sent you that meme with Jesus sitting in a car with Suge Knight the night Tupac died. Remember? I said he died for your sins, but somehow he's still alive. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I put that meme all over Facebook, man. I'm surprised you probably ain't see it. I don't know if you get on Facebook like that, but that meme should have been shared all over Facebook, man. I created that meme actually. Sent that in. So I said he died for your sins, but he's somehow still alive. Everybody believe Tupac's still alive. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I even had a belief that he's still alive. I'm like, this nigga ain't got no funeral. I don't know, man. I'm just speculating. You know what I'm saying? But Jesus, y'all actually claim this nigga died and came back. Like, that's not a sacrifice, because if I sacrifice my son, is my son coming back? No. But your son is not all powerful. Your son is not a God. Well, shit. How do you kill a God then? You know what I'm saying? Because you
But the
killing
whole
me.
thing is, they said he made himself into a man. So if he's a man, he should be able to die.
When did God become finite? When did God become infinite and infinite? He became infinite, but then turned himself finite back to infinite.
Exactly. It's like that motherfucker put in extra life code on the game right before he was about to die and got another life. And
Hey,
then
Kweli, what
left.
was the code? What was the code? Up, down, right, left, A, B, A, B, start, select.
It was L1,
Got it.
R1, L2, R2.
Yeah, God did that real quick. Like, oh shit.
For real, dog.
Yeah. That was the code. And that was the code for Contra. Remember on regular Nintendo? Yeah. So God hit that life code real quick. Yeah, but I don't know how you gonna die and come back, like, for real. That's why I asked Chris, I said, was it a biological death or a clinical death? And I still get no answer. I'm like, man, we didn't ask Zach that last time he was on your show. But yeah, man, like I said, back to the contradiction. No, let's deal with prophecies, man. They said, well, the world will be desolate and there will be famine and all. Man, didn't that shit happen before the Bible? We got evidence that famine and all this other shit happened long before the Bible was even written. That shit happened. They got famine back even during the BCE days. You know what I'm saying? So what makes the Bible a prophecy when we had famine long before? You know what I'm saying? I guess they said the Great Depression. It's not a prophecy, but see, they talking about, well, the Great Depression was a prophecy of the Bible because they had like famine, and I said, show me in the Bible where it said the Great Depression will happen. I don't want to hear no scriptures alluding to that. I want to hear that the Great Depression will happen. Show me in the Bible that the Twin Towers are going to fall into the sea. Well, that's not how the Bible works. I said, don't work at all. What the fuck you talking about? The Bible doesn't work at all. Like for real. Give me a date and time that when I asked them, I said, when was Jesus born? Was he born in Matthew 2 or Luke 2? They just like, well, one person said he was born in 6 CE. So how you going? So it became BC AD when he was born, or how you gonna be born before you born and die after you die? Like how does that work? Like when y'all do before Jesus was born in 4 BC, so he was born before he was born, but then when he came out of his mama's womb, was it AD or what? I mean, because if y'all basically doing this dating system based off of his life and death, that would be weird. That would be like some kind of retroactive birth and abortion type shit, got going on. Sound like some Terminator shit to me.
Yeah, but they had to do it retroactively because when it was the year 1, they wasn't going around saying it's the year 1. They changed the calendar after the fact. You know what I'm saying? They said, okay, this year that was 2000 whatever, we're gonna say that was year 1, and we're gonna start counting from there. The Julian calendar, and I think they did that shit in like the 15th century. It wasn't even that long ago. So they did that to try to make Jesus seem like he actually lived.
Exactly.
Like he was counting from.
They're like, well, why do we have the calendar saying AD and BC? That proves his existence. No, nigga, the damn calendar was invented by Gregory the VIII during 1582, I think. Yeah, that's when they became the year of our, and AD don't even mean after death. It means the year of our Lord. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know that shit. I'm gonna go to the comments. DSA said, I thought that was the MK1 blood code. Teal said the whole Bible was about becoming a good slave. Danielle said you was good. She's also said that there's 5 people on Atheist Church Live listening. I guess we're all coming in here. That's pretty good. I want to look at some. Marcus said your mic. Well, that was some old shit. But anyways, yeah, man, that was a good one, DSA. But yeah, man, they have to do it retroactively, man, because it's like they're trying to fit a air mattress box in a carrier on top of what's that shit called in the airplane, overhead carriage. Because they're trying to fit that into that so it can sound decent, I guess, or it can be believable. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said before, it was just one. It wasn't. It was just year one or millennia or something like that. Then around the first century, now they want to say it's A.D. and B.C. You see what I'm saying? So
Exactly. And BC does not mean before Christ. It means before the common era. You know what I mean? So people like to, let me tell you how crazy these Christians get, man. They got so many crazy beliefs. This dude asked me one time, you might have been on the show that day. He asked me, if the Bible is not true and God don't exist, then how come we got 7 days in a week?
boy,
And I didn't know where he was going with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, they don't got nothing. The days of the week don't got nothing to do with the Bible or God. Absolutely nothing. Actually, the days of the week are named after other gods. Sunday is obviously named after the sun. Monday is named after the moon. Tuesday is named after Mars. And I forgot what Wednesday was named after. But
Wednesday. I think
Thursday
Wednesday
is
is
named
Venus.
after Thor.
Yeah,
And
Wednesday.
Friday is named after Free. And Saturday is named after Saturn.
Yeah,
Jesus don't even got a day. He didn't make the cut. You know what I'm saying? So we don't got a G day or just day or whatever
Exactly.
that would be. You know what I'm saying?
Because
So the reason why we got 7 days in a week is because the people who made up the 7-day calendar, they had 5 gods that they thought existed in the sky, and they named the days of the week after them. And then they had the sun and the moon. 5 plus 2 equals 7. It's completely arbitrary. We could have had 8 days. We could have had 10 days. It's just a calendar that we made up. Got nothing to do with your damn God. So I don't know where these Christians get these beliefs from that somehow the Bible or Christianity got something to do with our days of the week. But y'all got to stop that shit, man. Because y'all make me have to do more work. I have to tell y'all that y'all wrong every week. Like stop giving me work to do. Read your own Bible and know what you're talking about.
yeah,
I can't keep correcting y'all over and over again on simple shit. If I know it, you should know it too, because I ain't that smart. That's how I feel about it. If I know it, you should know it too, because I ain't even that smart. I mean, I'm smarter than the average bell, but I ain't no fucking genius. So do better, Christians. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. It's like these Christians are trying to put a square circle into a round peg.
Consistently.
Exactly, and trying to make things fit. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, the prophecies, man. Now, you know, I can see why some Christians can believe that these things that are happening now can be some kind of prophecy. There will be sick. They try to say COVID-19 was in the Bible, but they can't show me where. But they'll allude to a scripture that kind of sounds like disease and war and shit like that. And I'm like, we had that. So you telling me that, okay, the Bible was written in 1611, right? Before that, they had a war. They had a war before that with disease. I forgot the name of that disease, but it was before the King James Bible was even written. And also, if they even read the original King James Bible, half the shit that's in the modern Bible, it's not even in the King James. They rewrote the Bible in the early 1900s. You don't have the original King James text. You have some put together shit now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because King
And
James
not to mention
Bible,
the books that they took out the Bible in the 1800s.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not even reading it. That's why I tell Cesario, them nigga brews, that nigga, y'all are reading a new Bible. Y'all are not reading something y'all not reading the old King James, because the old King James got burnt up in London after he died, actually. You know what I'm saying? So they don't even have like his original text. Like you don't even have the original King James. You know what I'm saying? And probably pretty much nobody could not read that shit because it was saying, thou dost thee, thou. It was all that kind of bullshit. So ain't no way Cesario will be saying, thou this First Samuel, this. I'm like, come on, man. Y'all reading the English book and claiming it's your book.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, dog. And I don't understand Black Hebrew Israelites, because they the only people that believe that they the Hebrew Israelites. Everybody else says the Arabs and the Jews, except a small pocket of African Americans that somehow believe that they're the Jews that the Bible is talking about. And you know why I think they believe that is because they so married to the religion, they're so married to the Bible that when they find out that it's some things in there that they can't reconcile with and it don't sit right with them, they have to then do mental gymnastics to make it true in their mind. So they say, oh, this ain't talking about them, they talking about us. But they not though. You know what I'm saying? It's like DNA proves it.
I
Like
think
check your
Sharon. I
DNA.
think Sharon Savage is waiting. Who is it?
I see her in the backstage, but I don't know why I can't hear her. Say that she's unmuted,
I think that's.
but I can't hear her.
I think that's taboo right there. Let me see. I just something just said.
So Sharon Savage, if you okay, let me see. One hand raised. Yeah, let me answer. Sharon, check your microphone and make sure that everything is turned up and that you got the microphone selected correct. If you got more than one microphone, it might be the wrong one selected. Because it's telling me that you good, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, I just texted her and see if that was her. She said she was in. She didn't leave. She back, right? Because it said she left. Jesus TV was in, but he left. I just texted her real quick. But yeah, she's not a Bible thumper or anything, but she does believe in God and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah, man. So all of this that we have been discussing and everything that we detailed in the presentation is just in an effort to illustrate to you all that the Bible is not true, and it ain't no way around it. Like Future say, it ain't no way around it. You cannot make the Bible true because it don't make no sense. I mean, common sense. Even in the first book of Genesis, I didn't even go over the creation story, like the creation of the earth. But that whole story is fucked up. They say that the God made the light before the stars, but don't all the light in the universe come from stars? Like, how they gonna have light on the earth without a star? How you gonna have a planet without a star?
Yeah, that's my thing. Where did the sun? Where did the light come from? I asked Christian. I said, "What was the light? Didn't God create the lights twice? Like, what the hell? Like, God is very incompetent when he's building. Like, I would not trust if God was a real life architect. I would not trust him with any buildings that I would want built. Wouldn't even trust him with roadway construction because he probably would make the concrete before.
You know what? I think I know why we can't hear her.
Oh, okay. Why is it?
All right, let's get it.
Hello, you there? Oh, she's still muted.
Oh, can you hear us now, Sharon Savage? You should be good. That was my fault. I told y'all I wasn't that smart. Y'all think I'm playing. I had it on moderators only, so only me and you could be heard. But you should be good now. I still don't hear you, Sharon Savage.
I don't even know if it says she's still online, right? Or she on her computer, right?
Yeah, say she is.
She probably stepped away from the computer.
Well, that's my bad, because last time we was on, we had some trolls, so I had to make sure that I had everybody muted when they come in, and I forgot to unmute everybody. You know what I mean? So that's my bad.
Hold on a second. I'm just letting her know that she's on mute. She stepped away and she's unmuted.
I'm not all knowing and all powerful.
Yeah. So we just wanted to get her synopsis of why she believes, you know what I'm saying, for the channel. And I'm steady, man. I'm steady trying to get people to come in here. We got Mind Made Radio. He don't want to come in. He feels safe on Clubhouse. He don't want to come on YouTube. None of these Christians, I done text Cesaria. Okay, so she said that wasn't her. So Sharon Savage is somebody else. So
I see you raising your hand, Sharon. You can talk whenever you're ready. You should be good. I don't know, maybe it is something on her end. But
probably so. Yeah, she's on her computer like I'm on my computer. Anyways, but yeah, man, it's just like when you dealing with cognitive dissonance, you know what I'm saying, with these Christians and stuff, it's like, man, really, it's these pastors, bro. It's these pastors, and like I said, a lot of them pastors want that. If everybody just woke up tomorrow, even if my girl just woke up tomorrow, like, babe, you know, you right, you know what I'm saying, because you come to my apartment, bro. I don't know if you've seen my apartment, but I got, you know, Egyptian, all, you know what I'm saying, our ancestors are everywhere, right? You know what I'm saying? I let her hang up some shit like blessing, faith, and all that other shit. But, you know, I would let her know I'm true to my shit. You know what I'm saying? When she met me, she knew I told her I was an atheist when I met. You know what I'm saying? So, we met. But, you know, she still accepted me, though, you know? And I told her, I said, it ain't got nothing to do with what I am or what I identify myself as. It's how I treat you. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, her parents, she said, don't tell my parents that you're atheist. I said, well, if they ask, I'm going to tell them, yeah, I am. So
yeah, man. She said she don't know why we can't hear her. I don't know why either, sweetheart, but try to go out and come back in. Maybe that'll work.
Yeah, I just got that check.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, tell the call.
The link is in the description, everybody. The phone number not gonna work tonight. We gotta change the number, but y'all can click the link.
Yeah, come on in, Christians. We prefer Christians. We're atheist call-in show.
I wouldn't mind talking to a Christian that believes that Noah's Ark story happened. I mean, because I was talking to a young brother about it a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying like he just believed because he always believed it. And I was trying to get him to just think about it logically. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the whole world flooded, where did all the water go? You know, he told me, oh, it went underground. I said, okay. So where was the water while the earth was split? You mean to tell me all the water from underground came up? That's not what the story said. The story said it rained for 40 days. Mm-hmm. So the water came from evaporated water that was already on the surface. So we know that there was groundwater before the flood because people had wells. So clearly, if the world was flooded, the groundwater was full, the surface water was full, we should still be flooded. The water can't just disappear. The water that's on this earth is the same water that's been on this earth since the dinosaurs was here. We don't get new water. You know what I mean?
Exactly. What's up, Bubble Gum? Good. What?
Bubble Gum, I think you muted. Or you don't got your mic hooked up. There you go.
Peace, fam. What's up?
Bubblegum, what's going on? I hear something, but I don't hear you.
My mic.
Bubblegum, in a dish. How many pieces do you wish? All right, let me try this because this is weird. All right, try to speak, y'all, and see if we can hear y'all now.
Mic check. Mine's good.
I still only hear you.
Yeah.
I just made everybody a moderator, so you should be able to hear me.
Well, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right. Who we talking to now?
I'm Bubble. I'm Bubblegum Gun, the new
Bubblegum. What's going on?
Hey, what's happening?
All right. So, what do you believe and why?
Okay, I am a polytheist, and the reason I believe this is a lot of reasons. I go often online and debate figureheads, Christian figureheads like Darth Dawkins and Nephilim Free, which are like basically the biggest Bible apologetics on the YouTube platform, and as well as the Discord platform. And the reason I disagree
I heard
with
of them
their... Oh, okay, that's good. For people who don't know, just in case, that it's good to know you guys know about them. The main reason I disagree. Okay, first off, let's get this straight. Evolution is false. It is in. Let me summarize that real quick. Why it's false. What we found out through science is that mutations are deleterious. And not only are they deleterious, they're nearly deleterious. And the implications of this means no new information can be added to the genome. This means no evolution can happen. Sure, you can have devolution, which happens a lot, but you will never have evolution. And that's the main point. I mean, we got that, so we can move on to the Christian parts.
I think I understand, but I don't agree.
Okay.
I really don't like to get into the evolution stuff too much, but that's not the only reason why people believe that evolution is true. We got the fossil record, DNA. So even if I were to accept your comment, we still got to deal with the fossil record, the DNA record, the geological distribution of species. How can you explain all this stuff if evolution is not true?
But the biological record, the fossil record is against evolution because you see animals popping in. You don't see this transition. You just see them popping in like somebody set them there. And that's the big problem.
What do you mean popping in?
I don't know where you got that from.
Okay, if evolution was true, you would see a transitional record of fossils. But what we actually
that's
see
exactly what we see, though.
Somebody came in. No, that's what we don't see. We see an animal, and they're just big jump to a similar animal. You can say similar, but it's a totally different animal.
No, that's called change over time.
That's the thing.
So you don't know that in the fossil record, the deeper you go in the ground, the simpler fossils you find all the way down to single cell organisms. And the fossils that we find closer to the surface are the more recent animals that we know of. That's how we know that dinosaurs lived 60 million years ago, because we only find them in sedimentary rock that's 60 million years old or more. So then we conclude that they went extinct about 60 million years ago. Or do you not accept that?
No, what the fossil record is telling us is that there was a creator who started off small and went big.
But how come? All right, if that's the case, then how come your Bible don't say that?
Well, I'm not for the Bible. I'm also against the Bible for this very same reason. Yeah, these very same fossils disprove the Bible. Here's a big problem. So this creationist, but creationists split off into the biblical, Islamist, whatever religion. The creation is just a catch-all term for people who believe humankind, everything around you was created. That's what creationism is. And I'm a polytheist creationist because we know that mutations, pretty much the pillars of evolution, mutations and natural selection, because mutations are deleterious, evolution cannot be true. So now we are left with the question, who created us? And we know it can't be aliens because you got
two different types of evolution. It's not just
the thing.
Hold on, go ahead and finish what you were saying. I'll come in later.
Yeah. And we know it can't be aliens because they would face the same conundrum of the watchmaker conundrum. Because we are the human body is incredibly complex. The worm is incredibly complex. complex than a computer, and like randomness isn't gonna make anything.
I don't know where you get the claim of randomness from or who makes that claim, but I don't believe that randomness makes anything either. It's a process of evolution. So basically what evolution says, first of all, is two types of evolution. It's not just mutations. You got stem evolution and you got crowned evolution. So when
STEM
people,
evolution is people manipulate. That's creation. That's
no,
not really,
stem evolution was going on before there was people. It's not people manipulating.
Well, you can say STEM evolution happened by alien hands, but that's still not evolution in the traditional terms we.
It doesn't require any outside force. It happens when a group of species move to a different place on the planet, and the environmental pressures encourage certain groups or certain individuals to survive better than others. So, for example, if 10 people moved to Canada and 5 of them were very hairy, that would benefit them in Canada because Canada's cold. So they would survive better, and the women would select to mate with the males who were more hairy. So then you would see, over time, Canadians becoming more hairy. Because they're passing down those traits. All right, then you got crowned evolution, which is what happens when people mix together in the mutation, like what you talk about. But we ain't gotta spend the whole episode talking about evolution because that's neither here nor there, and we did that last week. But what you said was, we know that it's not aliens that created us. So in your mind, you're saying because it's not aliens that created us, and you don't believe that we could have came about without any intelligence, therefore there must be some God. Am I correct?
Not only that, because this is one clue. This is one major clue. Another clue is that ghosts exist. The paranormal exists. You guys were asking earlier what light is. Light is very fundamental to answering this question: why God exists.
We didn't. Okay.
Do you know? Well, somebody mentioned light.
We said how did light come?
Before, I said where did the light come from?
That's what we said.
Yeah, light is actually very fundamental to this topic. Okay, look at anything around you. What if I told you that was light? Would you believe me? Like in a video game, like it was hard light. Sounds crazy, right?
Well, sure.
But turns out it is.
We wouldn't need to believe it. We would see it. Like,
not really.
Okay. What do you think light is? Do you think it's a particle or a wave?
It's a particle. It's a photon particle.
It's a particle.
Well, the thing, it's not a particle. It's a wave, and we know it's a wave because particles do not exist. And the reason particles do not exist, what we call particles are actually just the tip of the wave. It's not really a wave. It's a wave of something. So you got to ask, what is being waved? What is being perturbated? And that what is being perturbated is what we call the ether.
You know the ether has been proven to not exist like 1,000 years ago?
No, they proved it right. What do you think the Higgs boson is?
Okay.
Higgs boson.
I'm not too vast on the Higgs boson, but I'm pretty sure that the ether has been debunked. But I want to get to the God thing. Like, what does this have to do with God?
Well, it was claimed to be debunked, but that was worked on a straw man. It wasn't debunked. Okay, the reason this applies to God is.
Go ahead. I'll deal with that later. No, go ahead, bro.
Okay. The reason this applies to God is because it means everything. We're inside God, basically. Everything is divine. There is no such thing as these particles, and everything is just you could say a vibration or a light. It's more of a vibration, a field perturbation, and it is divine because it doesn't decay. You know how like things in our matter world, it will decay, it will die off. This is what is fundamental, and it doesn't adhere to the laws of physics. It produces the laws of physics, you could say.
Okay. Well, for one, I want to know where's your Nobel Prize for figuring all this stuff out, and two, I still don't understand what this had to do with God. How does the light
Okay.
being a wave let you understand that there's a creator?
Okay, there's more to it. Yeah. Okay. It didn't come up with this. This was actually from Tesla. Tesla understood this. Do we all agree Tesla is basically the genius among genius? Even Einstein called him
Yeah,
the
but he
best.
wasn't right about everything, and
Yes.
neither was Einstein.
He was right. Well, Einstein was wrong
Tesla
about
did not
everything.
Tesla did not say that lights are not particles, which science will disagree with you, because if you go to an actual science, if you go to a scientist and tell him that, he will simply laugh at you, because lights are particles that have the speed and vacuum. You know what I'm saying? They travel over large distances, over trillions of miles per second. So those photon particles, those
easy went.
Okay, first of all, where are you getting? Okay, let me ask you a question. Are you getting this from an actual science thing, or this is something that you're asserting?
No, this is an actual science thing. Tesla believed this.
Tesla's not the authority over science, though. Tesla's not the authority.
Yes.
So Tesla's not the authority.
Sigmund Freud believed that everybody wanted to have sex with their mother. Is that true? But I know that's not true. We ain't got to go there.
Yeah, well, Roman times, maybe he would have been right, but that's neither here nor there.
But anyways, I still want to.
What was that?
Let me get back to the God thing. All right, let me ask you this, because you said that there wasn't aliens that created us. I agree. I don't think aliens created us either. But I also don't think that God created us. I don't think that there is a God, or that our existence requires a creator. And the reason why is because the God does not satisfy the query, because all I got to do is ask you, where did the God come from? Because if you posit a God in order to explain our existence, because we couldn't have come from nowhere, doesn't that apply to your God too, that you haven't seen or heard or examined in any way? That God can't come from nowhere. So where did the God come from? Did he just pop out into existence? Did he fart himself into existence? How does that work?
Well, the thing that argument would work if we didn't know the universe is finite, but we know the universe is finite, and therefore we have to accept the.
How do we know the universe is finite?
Because they had a Big Bang.
So does the Big Bang describe the creation of the universe? Because I was under the impression that the Big Bang only described the expansion of the universe. Well, they don't say where it came from.
Yeah, but expansion, but that's still. It's almost like denying there was a pre-expansion. So there was something pre-expansion. That's the point. And so
there was something pre-expansion. Obviously.
Yeah, but what the implication of that means there's something outside the universe now.
No, that means the implication is that the universe changed form. So it was one way, now it's another way, and it might be always changing form, because that's. Think about this. That's all we've ever seen is things change form. We haven't seen anything come into existence. We haven't seen any piece of matter pop into existence. But we've seen matter change form. We've seen hydrogen atoms bond with oxygen atoms and change hydrogen and oxygen into water. We've seen that. But the water don't just come from nowhere. The hydrogen already existed and the oxygen already existed. Every atom in the universe exists and has always existed. When did it pop into existence? And if it did, how did it do that? Because the Big Bang don't satisfy that question. The Big Bang only satisfies how the universe expanded and that it's still expanding. That's all it's talking about.
Okay. Well, even the very fact that it's expanding means that there's something outside of it. Okay. Because it's expanding. That means it has a border. You would have to, all this is presupposing a border, something outside of it.
So you basically you're trying to use the analogies to somebody's blowing up a balloon. That's why.
Yeah, you can say that.
So that means that singularity is God. Is that what you're talking about?
Actually, I would say the word is the singularity. Not referring to the Christian God, but we don't know who the main. Okay, we know there's multiple gods, but we don't know.
Oh,
Who's
I know what I'm. This is no shot or a pawn or a joke. So you're the group that follow the God particle theory or something like that.
Well, I don't buy into the God particle. I'm not an atheist. I'm a polytheist. So I do believe in gods like I'm on Ra, Jesus Christ, and Thor.
Oh, so do you believe them in the way that they're elements of nature, or do you literally believe that Ra is a real person as depicted on the walls? Jesus is a real person that was incarnated. So do you see? Because when you look at when you bring up the ancestors, you know what I'm saying, in Africa, they didn't look at Ra as a real person. They looked at Ra as a figure, anthropomorphic figure of nature. So are you a pantheism? Not pantheism, but polytheism is in that aspect, or do you think Ra is real?
Well, I think he's a real. I think he's a real entity.
Well, we know the sun is real, but you think that
Like a conscious entity.
I don't think the sun is a conscious thing, though. I mean, are you talking? Wait a minute. I know you're talking about Amon-Ra, the sun god, what he represents, but.
Yeah, he's not literally the sun, but he represents the sun, I guess.
Yeah, it's a symbol because the ancients recognized that without the sun, we would die. So we owe our existence, figuratively speaking, to the sun. So that's why the first religions all revered the sun, because the sun is what gives life to the earth. I mean, if you're going to worship something, the sun makes perfect sense to worship, although I don't think you should worship anything. But if you're going to worship something, the sun would be the smartest thing to worship, in my opinion. But I'm trying to figure out like how you reconcile your belief with reality, because you say you believe in Thor and Ra. So what evidence do you have that led you to that conclusion that these were real entities?
First evidence, evolution is false. We have to be created. It can't be aliens, so it has to be something outside the universe. Second evidence is ghosts. We know ghosts are a thing. They're a phenomena.
No, there's not a
we do know ghosts.
But let's put a button in it right there, outside the universe, because I meant to ask you this before. If you say the universe has a border because it's expanding, so there's something outside of the border. But by the definition of the universe, isn't everything outside of that border become part of the universe? Because the universe literally means everything in existence.
Well, just because expanding doesn't mean it will encompass an infinite. We don't know whether it would eventually die out, the expansion, because we don't know if this expansion is good or ultimately bad. And
we got an idea.
But signs point to it being bad for us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what we got an idea that it's going to be bad. Because that's the whole reason why I don't see why you believe in the creator that created this universe that's doomed. Like, why?
Well,
would he do that?
Well, just because there's you gotta drop the presupposition that morality exists, because not only do you need a god, you need a god of morality, and no god of morality has ever existed. So like maybe this god is just brutal. That's just about it. But that doesn't deny.
What if I said Ma'at existed? She's the god of morality, truth, order, just, reciprocity. So since you're a polytheist, you got to believe that a god of morality do exist, because she's the god of morality. She's the god of justice.
No, there's a difference between justice and morality. Gods of justice, that's fine. There can always be a punishment.
I mean, justice and morality, basically, morality, basically, so she's the god of justice and morality. That's why she got the scales. You know what I'm saying?
She's a god of justice, but that's where it ends, not god of morality.
No, it has. I have not killed. I have not stolen. I have not committed adultery. It's all the confessions. You know what I'm saying? It's basically saying that you're not stealing from nobody. That's moral. You have a moral compass. You know what I'm saying? So not to steal, not to kill, stuff like that. So my aunt will be the goddess of morality. You know what I'm saying? But she's represented by the scales and the ostrich feather. You know what I'm saying? It means your heart weighing against the feather. You know the story, right?
No. Yeah, but that's justice. Like you can have like justice that is not moral. There's
Yeah, but
plenty
when
of
you look,
justice system.
but when you but from the teachers, from the African teachers, they said that Ma'at is the goddess of morality. She basically she sets the standard for what morality is. Peace. What's up,
But she's
David?
got a
Go ahead,
goddess
bro.
of justice. I believe that.
Okay, well, I don't know who your teachers is. You might be right because that's what you're being taught, but I know from me and Kweli's end of the teachings with the elders and stuff like that, Ma'at is the goddess of morality. Morality, justice, truth, reciprocity, and order. She balances everything. That's why she's with the scale, because she balances everything out. See what I'm saying?
Well, that's appealing. Well, yeah, but that's still appealing to. I see that's appealing to justice. I don't see morality in that.
Yeah, in the Western world, yes, you would be correct. In the Western world, yes, because that's what the scales of justice are. But when you go back to ancient Africa, that stands for the balance of the universe, the morality, and stuff like that. So, well, go ahead, bro.
Okay. Well, somebody came in or talking to me.
David,
David,
you want me to
you are in. Can you say something so we can make sure we can hear you? David, I can't hear you.
Hey, let me see if his mic. Your mic is unmuted, David. Hold on, Bubblegum. We're gonna let you go.
Sometimes you get.
Yeah, we just gonna try to get David to say something. David, you're loud and clear, bro.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta check your microphone settings because it changes which microphone you're using. That's what I had to do.
Yeah. David, check your microphone settings. But go ahead, Bubblegum. Okay, he's on his phone. He's not on his laptop. Yeah, he's on his laptop. He's on the computer. Shouldn't have no problem though. I don't know what the issue is. Yeah, change your settings.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Go ahead.
We can hear you now.
You hear me?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. I muted myself and then unmuted myself. I guess I had to reset the mute. But yeah, I've been listening a little bit. You're a polytheist, right?
Yes.
Okay. Why?
Because I found out the biblical creation story is false, but we know we are created.
So what does that have to do with your belief?
Well, that means if the Christian biblical tale of creation is not true, then which one is? And so
that doesn't answer my question. I asked why do you believe that your beliefs are true?
Because I'm looking at the DNA.
What DNA?
What we're looking at the biological effects of DNA.
Okay, what is it about deoxynuclear acid that leads you to believe that there are multiple gods?
What leads me to believe is we know we are created. That's for sure.
Wait. How do we know we're created? How do we know that anything was created? Let's just take it back to the animals and humans. We know we are created because evolution is false. Whoa. Hold on a second. even if evolution was false, how does that affirmatively confirm that we were created?
Well, if it's not evolution, what other theory do you have?
That's called an argument from ignorance. If it's not evolution, then the answer is we don't know.
No, it's you present another theory.
No, you present, first of all, a theory is a system by which...
Okay,
you're misusing the word theory. You're using the word theory. You're using the word theory as if it's guesswork or conjecture. A theory is a systematic tested...
what are you, by the way? Are you an atheist or...
See, that's another thing. So why don't you just ask me if I believe a God exists?
No, I want to know what you are. Because
if I use atheist, that brings up a whole other... I am an individual that is not convinced of any particular God.
So you acknowledge gods exist, you just don't know.
No, that's not what I said. I said I'm an individual who is not convinced that any particular God exists.
Do you propose God, or doesn't matter which God? Does God or gods do or do not exist?
I don't know. I'm unconvinced either way.
So you don't know. So you have no dog in this fight then.
That's not true. So when
I think you're being deceptive.
No. When you present a reasonable case, then I will change my mind. I believe what has been proven.
No, what am I fighting against here? There's no.
You're fighting against someone who says you have not proven your case that a God exists. Just like if you were in court and they ruled. What are you
standing for?
Why do I have to stand for anything?
What are you defending?
I'm not. I'm defending. What I'm defending.
No, because then you can't run away from your weasel stance.
No. What I'm
defending.
Hey fellas, one mic.
Stand there.
What I am defending is the position that I do not know. That's it.
So you do not know. If you do not know, then what are you doing here?
But Bubblegum, what he's saying, you can't assert a thing. That you're asserting a lot of things. Man.
What is it?
You're asserting.
Well, I'm not asserting.
That's true. You're telling.
I'm presenting facts.
No, you're not. What you're doing is you're telling me that your God or gods exist, and my response is, now prove it.
I told you, evolution is not false. Now, do you want to start?
Evolution is not false. Is that what you said?
Go there. No, wait, did you just say false? My bad.
Oh, evolution is false. Well, that is contrary to tons of evidence that we've already gathered throughout biology.
And I would like to add that has no bearing on whether or not a God exists, because evolution talks about how life evolved and became diverse, not how life was created.
You're confusing the term abiogenesis, which is the creation of life, abiogenesis, the creation of life from non-life.
Doesn't matter. Do you want to talk about chemical evolution then?
You're confused.
It's in the same realm.
Chemical evolution? What do you mean chemical evolution?
That's what you're proposing.
You mean the evolution of chemicals?
No, abiogenesis refers to chemical evolution.
No, abiogenesis refers to the creation of life from non-life.
Like amino acids and stuff like that, like amino acids, guanine, all that stuff, ribonucleic,
Yes.
Basically, yeah. So
wait. What were you saying? Finish.
No creator required.
He was responding. What were you going to say?
Well, we can debate that now. Do you want to jump to that? We can debate that.
Debate what?
Then move on to evolution.
Debate what?
Do you want to debate the evidence? I presented this evidence.
Okay, so
you want to debate the evidence of what? The evidence of abiogenesis
is false.
Yeah, I didn't see any evidence either.
That statement makes no sense.
The naturalist worldview.
What?
The naturalist
so time out, fellas. So Bubblegum, you started with an assertion and you just ended with a conclusion that is false. You didn't explain why. You just started with an assertion and then you asserted again that it's false. So you have an open and end assertion.
Yeah. So what you're doing is you saying, I know.
We can.
What he's saying is evolution is false, therefore my God is real. That's what he's saying. Evolution is false, therefore my God is real. That's what you're saying.
Because Bill didn't do it.
Here's the problem.
Evidence. Now let's debate the evidence.
Okay. So let's start with one. Do you know what meiosis is?
Come on.
Meiosis,
mitosis. Come on.
No.
It's the way cells divide.
Yeah, but let's. Yeah, but we want to start abiogenesis, don't you?
No.
Yeah, let's go back to abiogenesis.
Let's rewind. Go ahead.
I would like to know what he thinks of abiogenesis. What do you think? Where do you think? How and where do you think life came about?
Okay,
I want to ask you. How do you think those amino acids?
Okay, so no.
Let him ask me. I have an answer to his question. How do I think life came about? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah. How did those amino acids get in that sequence?
I have no idea.
I got a theory.
Well, okay, that's not an answer. So
no one knows. Yeah, I don't have an answer.
Well,
Why is that so difficult?
I do know.
Okay,
know.
so you do know.
It.
So how can you demonstrate that what you know is true? How can you demonstrate that what you know is true?
This. Simple. How does computer code get in a computer?
A person encodes code.
Wait, bubblegum.
Exactly.
Bubblegum. We're talking about biological organism versus man-made.
Right.
So, you got to understand something, bro.
It's a huge difference. Apples and oranges here.
What you saying is that complex things require intelligent beings to create them. But if your God exists, doesn't that mean that he requires an intelligent being to create it?
Well, let's not go to the infinite regress.
No.
We're talking about abiogenesis, and I really would like to know how you can demonstrate that you know the answer to this miraculous question. Like, we're talking questions that have baffled Einstein, Hawking,
everyone
in the history of human beings. So how do you demonstrate that?
Hey, Bubblegum, you do realize you're using the watchmaker argument, right? You say you're against the watchmaker argument, but you're actually utilizing it.
No.
In this
No, I'm pro the watchmaker.
Okay, demonstrate why and how you know life came about.
Because evolution is false. So what other theories are left?
Evolution has nothing to do with the creation of life.
That's an argument for ignorance. You're saying I can't figure out an answer, therefore
No. I'm not done. And what we do observe, how we do observe information comes about is through a mind, and that's a fact. So if we know
what makes you think DNA is information that was transcribed by a mind?
Are you denying? Oh, now you're denying it's information. Okay, let's go there.
They're chemicals. They're chemicals that behave like any other chemical.
It's not.
So how do you know that a mind put this into motion?
It's the sequence of the chemicals.
Right, just like H2O. Like the guy said, H2O is a sequence of chemicals that is water. So who created water?
Yeah, but that's just like that's just saying A B A B A B.
Yeah, exactly. ATCG. ATCG. It's a base pair.
No,
two sugar base pairs.
No, it's not. It's not the base.
They're chemicals.
It's not the base pairs.
Yeah, there are chemicals that link up together.
Okay, so time out, fellas. Time out. Bubblegum, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a so you don't realize what you're doing. You with Dave, you are using the God of the gaps argument because you say evolution is false, therefore God. Okay, what did your God?
No, not said that.
That's
yes,
what you said.
What I'm saying.
Yes, what you said. You said it has to be a creator, or
you said if it's not evolution, so what else could it be? That's what
creator. I said creator. Okay.
Which
how do you know it was created?
First clue. We know.
How can you demonstrate that it was created?
We know it's because I just told you. Because we know. How do we know information comes about? It comes about through.
How do you know it's information?
How do we know? Because it behaves like it is information. It
behaves like information, therefore it is information.
No, it is.
Let me interject here for a quick second. Bubblegum, have you ever heard of the process of diffusion?
No, what is that?
Diffusion is like when particles separate from each other and become equidistant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know that.
All right. Does that require intelligence, or do the particles just do that? Because of the laws of physics.
That's just laws of physics, but there's nothing in the laws of physics.
So what makes you think DNA is not just operating under the laws of physics?
Let me answer. Okay, David. I know, David. Hush. The reason these doesn't fall within the laws of physics is because it's a sequence in which they got into, and that's the problem. No laws of physics is going to put them into that sequence. Only a mind can do that.
Have you seen a sugar molecule?
And
C6H12
yes,
O6. It just falls into that.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah, I think you got to do some basic chemistry research, bro. Because this is how the basic building blocks of life were formed. You know what I'm saying? It is advanced chemistry.
And Bubblegum, you just made a fatal flaw within your argument, bro. Let me show you. Because when Kweli asked you, did you know what diffusion was? You said, no, I never heard of it. Then when he explained, you said, oh, yeah, you sound like Ken Hovind, bro.
No, I thought that was that was a different field. I thought it was
No, it's the same field. There's no different fields of that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
no, that's
I was just letting you know, man.
that's relating.
Wait, let's go back to how he knows how life came into its existence. How do you know that again? I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
Because it's information, and
how do you know it's information?
Information.
How do you know it's information?
Because it is information.
How do you know it's information?
Code.
How do you know it's a code?
Because it's a language.
How do you know it's a language?
Because the mitochondria reads it.
The mitochondria.
Are you an atheist? Are you an atheist?
Mitochondria is the energy factor.
David, are you an atheist?
I think you.
Let me ask a question real quick. David, are you an atheist or a theist? David, answer. Are you an atheist or a theist?
I am one who is not a theist.
Pick one.
Come out, fellas. One mic. We got another caller. 915. You're on the air. You're on the air. What do you believe and why?
So you're an atheist.
I am an atheist. Yes.
You're a scummy little atheist.
Hey, time out.
No. Let him come on.
No. Yeah, we got another caller. Hold on, fam.
Hey,
fam. We're gonna have to mute y'all mics, man. Come on now. 915. You're from El Paso. I'm from Texas as well. You're on the mic. You're on the air. What do you believe and why?
Hey man, I believe in your videos, man. I love them. I used to when I was a big Jesus hater, I was the biggest blasphemer. I used to rock your videos because I can't believe like there's people that say they're godly and they take people away from God. You know, like there's people from the church that take people away from the church, and they don't understand that we're all sinners, bro. Like straight up, we're all sinners, homie. And there's people that grew up in the church and can't believe that there's.
I used to live in El Paso. I used to live in El Paso. I was stationed at Fort Bliss. So how do you know that we're sinners? What makes us sinners?
Because we're flesh, brother. Like straight up, we're flesh.
So our skin. So are you saying our skin makes us sinners?
No. Not like humans. Like it doesn't matter. Like whether ethnicity you are, it doesn't matter.
I know. I said you said flesh. So our skin
manipulated. Our DNA was not manipulated. Our DNA was manipulated by demons, brother. Like I know. Like many people don't think the Bible is real. I don't think so either, bro. But like, check it out. What I do understand is that those stories actually did happen, but not when they say it happened.
Which story happened? Which story happened that you believe the most?
Like for example, like the story of Noah. It didn't happen on the days it says it happened. It's actually written on stone, brothers, and it says that Noah was picked up in the air, man. We don't know how God exists. Like if you guys want to trip out on the Bible, read the book of Ezekiel, and it's talking about actual crafts coming down, man.
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay, why should we believe that the Bible is true?
Hey, hold on. Hey, Dave, I'm gonna let you. Hey, so what's your name, brother? So we don't call you 915. What's your name?
Just call me Paz de.
Say it again. I can't pronounce
it. Peace.
Why do you think that?
Okay, we're gonna call you Peace. Okay, so everybody, one at a time. We got a Christian. Okay, so we're gonna have to reset the. Hey, Kweli, is it okay if I reset the thing? Okay, welcome to the New Atheist Church. I'm not sorry. Welcome to the Atheist Church. I'm sorry. I'm your co-host Kwame Remesu with the host Kweli Kush. We are here debating evolution, Christian, and what else? Evolution and
demons. Don't forget demons. He talked about demons.
Yeah, I had to reset the live stream because everything is just going. So one at a time. So okay, so we got brother Dave. He's from Clubhouse, man. I followed you, Dave. I knew that somebody was actually going to get the invite, so I shared it all over Clubhouse. So thanks,
Wait,
Dave.
You know me?
Yeah, I know you, man. Ain't you from Clubhouse?
Maybe.
Yeah, I've been in your room. Atheism. Yeah, I was in your room. Yeah, I'm a follower of you. Yeah, but you go by a different name on.
I don't like being recognized. I like my words to speak for themselves.
Oh, come on, Dave, man. Stop being modest, man. But anyways, welcome to the Atheist Church, where we do the reverse collection plate. If y'all do want money at the end of the show, donate $1. to the Atheist Church Live at Cash App, you will win money at the end. You know what I'm saying? If your name, you know what I'm saying, if you put your name in the hat. So we do give money back. Okay, so we got plenty of topics on the table tonight. We got Dave, we got Bubblegum Gum, and we got Peace from El Paso, Texas. Welcome to the show. So Peace, we got a question for you. What makes it? Oh no, Dave. No, you know what? I'm gonna step back. Dave, ask him a question. You had a question. Go ahead, Dave.
Peace. Can you hear me?
Yeah, for sure, man.
You can hear me? Okay. What reason should we have to believe that the Bible is true?
Honestly, like, can you deny the devil does not exist, brother?
That didn't answer my question. I asked you, why should we believe the Bible is true?
Because Satan is real, man.
Why should we believe that Satan is real?
That's what we gotta. Because you can't, bro. There's little kids being raped, bro. Bro,
how you know it's not God doing it?
Aleister Crowley is, homie. Nah, gee, that's what's going on, bro.
Wait.
Everything that God is, bro.
Wait, hang on. Peace. Demonstrate to me the existence of Satan.
I can.
All I have to say is Aleister Crowley, G. He called himself the B666, homie. And you know what, guys? Like, I'm gonna tell you that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you who the answer. No. That's how powerful our words are, brother.
Used to call himself.
So check it out, family. To your children, just speak life to them. You know, we don't know how
saying a bunch of word salad. That's a bunch of word salad, but it didn't come close to answering my question. My question is, how can you demonstrate?
I am, brother. Tell me.
How can you demonstrate that Satan or God in your Bible is real?
Homie, that's what I mean. Because if we could see that, because when I grew up, bro, I would see people doing.
Okay, I feel like you're going on another tangent. I'm going to come back to the question: how can you demonstrate that Satan or God is real?
Homie,
because ghosts are real.
Wait. Don't answer for him. That's not fair.
Because check it out, brother. Check it out, brother. If that side of the coin is real, then there must be the other side of the coin.
That still doesn't come close to answering my question. I asked you a very direct question. How can you demonstrate that Satan or God is real?
Hey, Dave, let me ask you a question.
How can you not demonstrate that Satan is real?
No, wait. Peace.
Look, David, you're just picking on the guy who doesn't know things. How about you pick on me?
Okay, I would love to. I feel like
he's a new caller. Bubblegum, he's a new caller.
He should get his.
But David, let me tell you why. When I was stationed at Fort Bliss in El Paso, they got this thing called Devil's Landing. It's one of the landings that's in Franklin Mountains in El Paso. That's why he believed it. Because they said on the other side of that mountain is a troll, but it's like a demon-like character. That's why they believe.
Is this a local folklore?
Yes. No, wait. I'm in Dallas.
Nothing like that.
I'm in Dallas Fort Worth. No. But I was stationed in Fort Bliss.
I'm from Ohio. I don't know. Sorry. Go ahead.
But when I was stationed in Fort Bliss, they think it's a devil on the other side of Franklin Mountains in Horizon City. So that's why they believe.
Okay.
It's not like that, brother. No.
All right. What is it?
Like,
What's it like?
Talking about what I was speaking about, brother, about speaking life. Is that there's this person that is called Aleister Crowley, brother. And if you don't think he's real, bro, there's people following his work now, which they would believe that for you to gain the most power here on earth.
There are people following Mormonism. Does that mean it's true?
Bro, a male, I know. But check it out, bro. This is how wicked this is, bro. So you rape a little boy, bro, a boy that is 7 years or younger, and you kill him, bro. And you get power on this earth, brother. So this is how you gain power.
Wow, that's an interesting. That's an
interesting. That has nothing to do with God.
Check it out, brother. Whoever thinks atheism is real, bro.
Wait, Peace. Let me ask you a question. How would you define the word atheism? Give me a definition.
Satanists, bro.
Peace. Give me a definition of the word atheism.
Is a person that doesn't believe in God, brother. Like he just doesn't believe in God, you know.
So you don't believe in people that don't believe in God?
Let me ask you a question, Peace. Imagine I have a big jar, a big giant jar sitting on my desk right now. It's filled with gumballs. Okay, you with me?
Mm-hmm.
No one has counted this. No one has counted this jar. I have not counted it. You haven't counted it. We don't know. I tell you that there's an even number of balls in this jar. Do you believe me?
I mean, I don't trust.
Nobody's counted it.
Question?
No one's counted it. Do you believe me if I assert that it's even?
It doesn't. That doesn't.
So you're calling yourself God or what?
I'm going somewhere. Do you believe me if someone comes to you and says the number of balls in this jar is even? Do you believe that person, even though they've never counted it?
Nah, bro. I don't even believe
okay.
So you're saying it's odd.
So you don't believe me when I tell you that it's even. So then does that mean that you believe it's odd?
No, it could be either both.
So
man.
it could be either one.
No,
because
you just
don't
simply
have the
lack a belief.
evidence. Because you don't have the evidence, so you're withholding belief, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
atheism.
You have to define.
That's atheism,
answer, right?
No, you have to define atheist how we know it. An atheist.
That is an atheist, bro.
That is the definition of the word.
Not exist. No. You're using this old version of what it used to mean. Like,
No.
you wanna go to
I don't know what the new version
Time
is.
out.
But
Time out.
when we talk to atheists, when an atheist says they're an atheist, they're implying they are proposing.
No, what you're talking about is an anti-theist.
Not whether they don't believe it. No.
There's a difference.
No, what are you? No, you hating God and knowing that He exists.
Anti
is
means
not the
I
same
do not believe theism. That means that God does not exist.
Are you proposing?
It has nothing to do with hate. It has nothing to do with hate.
Right? How can you hate something that you don't believe exists? Do I hate Santa Claus?
No, there are. So you are proposing God does not exist, right?
That's not what I said.
Not saying.
I'm saying that I have seen insufficient evidence.
What are you proposing? Which one are you proposing? So you are willing to believe in God then?
So Bubblegum, no, wait a minute. So I know Dave.
That's what he had stated.
No. He did not state that. What he's saying is he rejects the theistic claims that
just
God
like
exists.
if you came to me and said there's an even number of balls, I would say I don't believe you. That doesn't necessarily mean I believe it's odd. That just means I've seen insufficient evidence one way or another.
Exactly. It's not about the theistic claims. It's whether do you.
It is about the theistic claims. Atheist, theist. Those are the two words. Theism, atheism.
Are you proposing that you proposing you do not believe? Which one?
Wait, am I proposing not? Wait, am I proposing what? What?
Are you
that God does not exist?
Proposing that God does not exist?
No.
Or do you not?
No, we're not speaking. No, we're not speaking from absolute. He's not speaking from an absolute.
I'm saying you came to me.
No, let him answer.
I'm saying that you came to me and said God exists, and my response is, I don't believe you. Now prove it. That's it.
Okay, so where do you stand? Do you believe that? Do you propose that God does not exist, or you're proposing?
Well, first of all, which God? Which God are you talking about?
Nah, but that's the thing.
That's important because if you're asking me if I believe that God
many gods, brother,
you have to tell me which one you're talking about. There's thousands of gods, so which
does
one?
not matter.
Yeah, it does
not matter. It does matter. It could be the spaghetti.
It definitely matters. Are you talking about Zeus? Are you talking about Vishnu? Are you talking about?
Nah, but
let's make it spaghetti.
Nah, check it out, G. You want to talk about Jews? Homie, check it out. What happened with the Jews was
Zeus.
That
the ancient Greek god.
No.
Nah,
not Jews.
Let him red pill you on the Jews.
Not Jews.
Nah, but check it out. That's what happened with the Jews.
I didn't say Jews. Not apple juice. Not apple juice.
I'll talk about them too. Like, check it out. But give me a second. Trip out on this.
Okay.
But check it out. Like with the Jews, homie. Like their books told them, that the Messiah was gonna come.
Okay.
But the people that received the Messiah, brother, They were descendants from the actual people, bro, that had communication with God. So
How do you know they had a communication
God
with God?
literally came and told
How do you
them,
know they had a communication with God?
Because they followed their own books, homie. They followed their own
So they followed their own
ancestors.
books, and that's
Well, check
proof
it out,
to you?
trip out. No, well, trip out, homie. Give me a second, bro, and tell me if this is
but
not
you
really
just
what
said
happened,
something
you
that
know,
requires
like,
clarification. Your premise
check it out,
requires
check it out,
clarification.
check it out. If you're an atheist, then you're gonna deny that even Jewish isn't real, right? So I'm gonna prove to you.
Am I going to deny that Jewish people exist? Yes.
Exactly. But
that doesn't mean that their beliefs are true. That doesn't believe that their beliefs are true.
Check it out. Just give me a second, homie. Check it out.
One mic, people.
Yeah,
One mic.
so
One
they-
mic,
so-
people. One mic.
So brothers,
I just got something real quick.
when
I got
the
one mic.
Messiah of their own
Time out. Time out. Okay, time out. One mic, please. One mic.
We're gonna let,
1 minute, brothers, and I'm gonna finish.
Peace go, and then we're gonna let y'all come and respond.
All right, I'm counting it down for a minute. So when the Messiah of their own books came, they weren't willing to let their titles go. Not only their titles, because they would have let all their positions go, man. But they were like, you know what? I'm not willing to, homie. They were not even following God's laws, brother.
Mute his mic.
So there's
what is he talking about? Go ahead, Dave.
I think what he
Peace. Hold on. Let me explain this to Peace really quick. Peace. Here's what you're doing. You're making an argument and you're building premises, but your premises are just unproven assertions. You're just claiming that he was the Messiah. You're claiming that he was God. These are just claims, and then you're using these claims as the foundation for your conclusion.
To talk about history, to talk about God, you have to talk about.
Let me help Peace out right quick, y'all. I hate to interrupt y'all, but let me just attempt to help him out right quick. But I think I understand what you're trying to say. So basically, what he's saying is that if you don't believe in God, you are denying Jewish history, because when you look up Jewish history, they have all of these things in it, like Jesus and all that. But you're not considering the possibility that most of Jewish history is simply made up. I mean, Jewish people are the latest population of people to pop up on the earth, and they simply made up their history. It doesn't mean that shit is actually true because it's written in a book. You know what I mean? But I think that's what he's trying to say.
Kweli, we got a Christian that want to call in. Can you drop his name is Red Wine. He wants to call in. So can you put the link in the description? I ain't mean to cut you off, brother, but I'm watching the comments too for you. So.
All right,
I didn't even cut you off,
listen, guys.
That's not what I meant.
What did you mean?
Look, I gotta go. Maybe we could do this another time.
All right, man. I appreciate you calling in, bro.
Yeah, call in anytime, bro. Like we do it every Sunday, bro. We do it every Sunday. You can call in anytime. Cool. Come back with your information, because I want to know how evolution was debunked when that has not been debunked.
I want to know. I want to know how you can affirmatively prove. I want to know how you can affirmatively prove that your God is real. How can you forget about evolution?
All right.
Prove that your God is real.
Check it out. Let's speak about our religions, right? Let's speak about our religions.
Hey, peace. Hold on, time out, peace. Bubblegum got about 5 minutes. Can you be quiet for 5 minutes? Bubblegum and Davey, y'all have y'all in Discord real quick. Please. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
I'm not proposing any God. I'm just saying a God. I'm not proposing any sort of God.
What?
That's not my job here.
Wait, what? That makes no sense.
I'm not proposing.
You're not
proposing a God, not a specific God.
Okay,
wait
so
you said
I'm proposing a God, not a specific God.
Which God are you proposing?
Yes.
Which one?
I'm not. It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Because I don't know.
Are you talking about the biblical God? Are you talking about the Islamic God? Are you talking about
it could
God?
be it could be Islamist. It could be Amun Ra.
It could or it is. It could or it is.
No, because I'm here only. I'm only dealing.
No,
with the
here's what's happening. You don't want to. You don't want to define
that information.
No. Here's what's happening. You're avoiding defining which God you're talking about because you're not prepared to defend that.
And you're avoiding.
That's what's happening.
And you're trying to
one mic.
No, you're trying to move this on.
Okay, I'm trying to understand which God you're talking about because they're all contradictory.
Okay,
so which one?
No, you're trying to move. You're trying to move this to a specific God and do all these
Right.
straw
Yeah, I am.
mans. I'm just trying to stick to
that's the
I'm trying
opposite
to
of
stick to
straw
the
man.
science because you know you're gonna get your ass kicked. You're gonna get your ass kicked
Wait,
on
time
evolution.
out, Bubblegum.
Buddy
Hold on,
boy.
Bubblegum. Hold on, Bubblegum. Dave is not a person you want to debate
Yeah.
on science.
I'm not straw manning anything. I'm doing the
boy.
opposite of a straw man because I'm trying to understand your position, which is why I'm asking you which God are you talking about?
Because Bubblegum, you did say that you're a polytheist.
Yeah. So which one?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying multiple gods.
I don't know which gods don't exist. Yes, we know multiple gods exist. I don't know which
we do.
God
Okay, so
exists.
you're saying we know multiple gods exist. How do we know that?
Well, we can do that on Sunday. We'll start with the science, and that's where I'll get
Okay,
you.
what science leads you to believe that multiple gods exist?
Well, with creation.
How do you creation? What was created, and how do you know it was created?
We were created because we know evolution is false. And
you keep
okay,
going.
Bubblegum, so you're making
that's an argument from ignorance. That's a God of the gap.
No,
you're saying I can't think of a better explanation of how life came into existence. So therefore, my gods did it.
No, that's just one piece of the puzzle. That's what I'm saying.
One piece of the puzzle. How many other pieces of this puzzle?
Bubblegum, hold on, Dave? Are you a Poe?
Am I a what?
Are you a Poe?
What do you mean?
What is it, police?
Poe. Yeah, Bubblegum, because I'm like, bro, you came on talking about you're a polytheist.
Talking about Bubblegum.
Yeah, Bubblegum. No, Bubblegum. I'm like, bro, wait. Your arguments went from your multiple gods did it. Now you don't know which proponent of God did it. Like, or you don't know which God did the creation. So, bro, you sound like a Poe a little bit.
How do you even know the universe was created? How can you demonstrate that the universe was created? How can anyone demonstrate that the universe was created?
There was a Big Bang.
Because there was a Big Bang.
The
Big Bang describes an expansion. It does not describe the origin. That's a misconception, a common misconception. It describes what happened after the universe existed. It does not describe what was before the universe. That statement even makes sense. No one even knows if there was a before. That statement doesn't. I mean, before time.
Look,
that statement doesn't even make sense.
You're just trying to deny a before. You're just trying to deny a before.
How can something exist for 0 seconds?
Look, you just because denying something.
How can something exist before time? How can anything exist for 0 seconds?
There is no such thing as time.
There's no such thing as time. So how long have we been on this call?
Can you give it? Okay, can you provide? Look, just because we are, you know, that's a social construct. You're working off a social construct.
Okay, so time is things doing stuff.
Trip out.
Things doing stuff.
Yes,
that's time.
Things doing things is time. It takes
things doing things is time.
Yes, something doing something through time is time.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's just moving it around.
Yeah,
no,
and how long did it take to move it around? So how long did it take to move it around?
No.
How long did it take for something to go from point A to point B?
Provide evidence. That's just a measurement. You know, measurement.
Yeah, time is a measurement of things doing stuff.
Yeah, and it's a social construct.
No, it
doesn't exist.
No, no.
Okay, so what year? Okay, so if science is not it's just a hypothetically, science is just a social construct. What year are we in according to your?
That statement doesn't even make sense. Yeah. Science is not a noun. Science is a verb. Science is not something that is.
Hey, Dave,
it's something that you do.
Time out, Dave. Red wine 33.
Look.
Okay, so red wine 33. What do you believe and why?
To be honest with you, I used to be a Christian, not so much anymore. Just through what little research I have done, and just people I listen to, like you guys, and just random stuff that I research. I don't want to go as far as to say that I would be atheist, but it would be more so along the lines of I need proof that there is a God and God exists. So I'm kind of on the same tip as you guys. I do think that there's got to be some type of creator. I'm just not sure how we got here.
How do you know it was created?
You know.
Hold on, Dave, because what it is what we're dealing with is somebody straddling the fence. So red wine. So the thing for you to do is to look at science and look at the world itself. Like, you got to understand, there's places on this earth that we cannot exist on. You know what I'm saying? We cannot swim thousands of feet down below without being crushed by the pressures of the ocean. You cannot go too high up in the atmosphere. See what I'm saying? So if there was a divine creator, we should be able to do all those things, live at every inch of this earth without having to be having to have a space suits, or you know what I'm saying?
Wrong. That's wrong.
Well, that's just
a maximum authority.
No, because what you're doing
is that.
Hold on, go ahead, Dave.
I'm not.
You're taking Santa Claus and you're trying to describe what Santa Claus should have done.
I get you, Dave. I'm just trying to lead him to.
But you haven't demonstrated that Santa Claus actually exists. So how can you ponder what he should have done?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't really think that anybody can prove or disprove that something exists or it doesn't exist. You know,
that's not true.
That, you know,
you can prove that the phone you're calling on right now exists, right?
Hey, Dave, let him have it. Let him have it, Dave.
Basically what I'm saying is, you know, you're right that you can prove that the phone I'm calling on does exist, but I think that when you speak on, you know, like God, quote unquote, you know, like
supernatural
it's
issues,
extremely hard. Right. So
if you can't prove that the supernatural is real, then why would you believe that it's real?
Well,
it's very simple. If you can't prove it's real, then withhold judgment until you can prove it's real.
Hold on, Red Wine. I want to address Dave for a minute. But Dave, what I was trying to get him to understand, he got to look at that because what it is, a lot of Christians, they think that the world is perfectly created. But I was trying to get him to see that.
I know what you're saying. If anything, the universe is created for black holes.
No.
If anything, the universe is created for the construction of black holes, not life.
Right. Okay, Dave. Let Red Wine have it real quick.
So, like, basically, what I've kind of come to the conclusion is, you know, like, I just think that there's different energies out there, and it's a yin and a yang. So, if it's a good, it's got to be a bad, because the only way that we would know something is good is we've got to have something to make reference to, or it's got to be a balance. So,
to contrast,
so to speak. So
you're talking about a contrast.
Let me jump in right quick, y'all, because it's something that we have a conversation a lot about on the show. This good and bad thing. Can everybody still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So basically what you just said, Red Wine, is that if there's a good or bad, because in my understanding, good and bad are labels that we put on things. Nothing is good or bad inherent in its own right. For example, if I kill a man, is that good or bad? Well, you need a little bit more information in that, don't you? Because the man I killed might be Ted Bundy, it might be Adolf Hitler, it might have been somebody that was about to kill a innocent child or something. So is it bad to kill somebody? It depends. So when you say there's a good, there's a bad, these are labels that we made up, that we put on stuff. These are not things that exist out there in the universe that you can touch and feel. There is no good or bad out there. There are things that happen, and we decide, I'm gonna call this thing good, I'm gonna call that thing bad. So just like what the brother Peace was saying, if there's a devil, then there must be with a pitchfork and some horns running around. He's saying he see bad things happening. So because y'all see bad things happening, y'all think that there must be some good energy out there. But I'm gonna go back to what David was saying. If you can't prove it, then why would you believe it?
Not only that.
So
I
think
wanna,
you at a place where you can be comfortable at just not believing.
Yeah, cause Red Wine, this is a safe place, bro. If you need to come out, bro, you want more information, me, Kweli, or David, we'll give you the information, bro, for real. And you need to follow David, bro. David is that's my boy on Clubhouse, man. Download Clubhouse, you'll find he can give his
Stop. My words stand on their own. Stop plugging.
All right, Dave. All right, I'm gonna leave you alone, man. Dave is a modest dude, man. I like Dave. That's why I brought him on, man. That's why he came on. But Peace. Is you still there?
Oh, definitely. What's going on?
Okay. So check it out. Time out. I'm not finished. Let me finish. So what Kweli was talking about is what y'all believe in El Paso. Y'all believe that damn demon is on the other side of the mountain. Why y'all still believe that shit? Like, that's not true.
Nah, I've never heard that story.
Let me ask you a question because I'm curious.
Hold on, Dave.
Little kids.
You know what?
Don't go.
Let me
don't
ask
go
y'all
over there because the cucuy.
Time out. Hold on. Time out.
One at a time.
Yeah, one at a time. Because I just want to ask the dude. Because like I said, I was in the military. I was in the military and I was stationed at Fort Bliss. Because 915 is El Paso. So they believe that this goddamn demon is on the other side of Franklin Mountain. Why do y'all still believe that shit?
That's what they would tell little kids and the army soldiers not to go over there and party, homie.
Okay, but is it true?
Straight up, G. Like,
is it true? Peace. Is it true?
Yeah, nah, bro.
It's not true.
I was in the army because it's not. That's what I'm saying. It's not true.
Everywhere because he could only be at one place at one time, but his demons are.
Wait.
Yeah.
Peace. Are there demons?
Hey, Dave, hold on, fam. Hold on. Time out, fam. Because when I was in the army,
that story's not true. That maybe that's from your army, just Sergeant G.
Bro, I didn't even when I was in the military, I was still a Christian. I didn't even believe it. I didn't see no devils. We used to actually go to Juarez. We used to go to Juarez.
I'm saying that's what
y'all believe that the devil actually.
Exactly.
Y'all believe the devil was in Juarez.
There, you know, because
hold on, peace.
But that's what
y'all
I mean.
believe
you could get jacked, homie. You could get an STD, homie. You could get killed, bro.
Time out, peace. When I was in the army in El Paso, where you from? I didn't, as a Christian, when I was still a Christian, because I think I was killing in the name of God. Like, for real, Dave, Kweli, yes, I thought I was killing people in the name of God when I was in Iraq. When I came back to the States,
very effective tool.
Right. So when I came back to the States, I was stationed in El Paso.
The people that run this thing are Freemasons, brother. What you talking about, bro? They're Satanists.
Wait,
but check it out. That's exactly what they would tell you. Like the devil's out there.
Peace, let me ask you a question.
I'm telling you, bro.
Wait. Hold on.
Literal. Nah, let me. They were talking like literally. The devil's right there.
Peace. Let me ask you a really quick question. Is there actually a devil on the other side of this mountain?
Homie, the devil is real, brother.
Is there a devil on the other side of this mountain?
Homie, he could even be right behind you, bro.
Is there a devil on the other side of this mountain? Yes or no? Did you say yes?
No, I was saying, and I was agreeing with you.
Homie, the devil, homie, check it out.
Yes or no?
He can be everywhere at the same time.
Yes or no?
No. Okay, Peace.
He could be.
Yes or no?
But what he could also be behind me, homie.
You're avoiding the question.
On the side.
Is there a devil? Does this demon or devil exist on the other side?
A demon's different, bro. Check it out. Check it. The devil can be everywhere at the same time.
Really?
So he uses demons. Bro.
Really, Peace?
No, Peace. What David's asking you, because I was in the army. I didn't when I was a Christian.
Exactly. They were literally G. Like, let me ask you this, Leo.
So you're saying no? There is not a devil.
The devil was right there.
So you're saying no?
They weren't being literal. They weren't being literal, man. They were speaking about like some bad juju shit even happening to you.
No, it never happened. It never happened.
Nah, exactly. But that's what they meant. Like for you not to go out there.
Bro, we did our artillery training out there. Where you talking about? We did artillery training. Where you're talking about on the other side of Franklin Mountains. We did artillery training out there. There was no devils or demons out there.
They blew that shit up repeatedly.
Homie, they did nukes right here at White Sands, bro.
Yeah, we went to White. No, okay, Dave. Let me tell you what. Okay, because you know the atomic bomb was tested in White Sands, New Mexico, right? That's what they're talking about, because somebody was talking about the radiation. So the radiation was somehow a strange black demon.
Okay, radiation.
Nah. That's
First of all,
you crazy over here.
Radiation is fatal. Okay, nothing survives that.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, all right. Check it. Let me ask you this, Dave. Do you think there's life on another planet?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, but probably.
I would say yeah.
All right.
Just from a mathematical standpoint. Just from a mathematical standpoint, I would say probably, but I have not been. I've not seen evidence yet. But I mean, come on, we're in an we understand less than 1%.
We haven't explored enough yet.
But
that's like putting a cup into the ocean and saying that there's no life in the ocean. Because there's no life in this cup.
Right, but if you're in the cup and you've never seen life, then you can't say for sure.
Like if you're gonna believe fools that are telling you that we already fucking found this other planet over there and this I don't know what, when we can't even go to the moon, homies. Like straight up,
and we've been to the moon.
All this no,
there's a mirror on the
not even the moon, bro.
No, you can put a laser.
We can't get to the bottom of the
Why are you believing all this lies about space, then, bro?
You can bounce a piece of light from the moon.
Trip out, Dave. I think a black hole.
Do you have a laser pointer?
Hell, homie.
Do you have a laser pointer,
bro? We can't get to the bottom. Of the ocean.
Yeah, I do.
If we can't get to the bottom of the ocean,
I can give you the coordinates so you can point it at the moon and have this mirror bounce that laser right back to you. That's proof. That means a human being was on the moon and put a mirror on the surface of the moon. It's true.
And whoever said
we can't land on it because it's gonna crack. Right?
Whoever said we can't go to the bottom of
yet.
The ocean.
Did you not know that? Wait, did you not?
That's how crazy this shit is, bro.
You didn't know
that?
And
we have been to the bottom of the ocean.
You didn't know. You did not know that there is a mirror. That there is a mirror on the surface of the moon that scientists look at.
Of course, he didn't know that, dude. I look, it's getting late, so we're gonna have to wrap it up in a few minutes. But David, man, you know he didn't know that if he talked.
I know, but
the way he talking, he don't know nothing about no science.
I want him to understand that this dude occurred. This
still talking about devils
happened. This event happened, and the proof that it happened is with your laser pointer. Get a laser pointer, okay, and point it at the right coordinates, and then you can prove it to yourself. You don't need me. You can prove it to yourself. That's my point, is how can you prove that any of your claims are actually true? Peace. How can you prove any of them?
Well, I got a question for Red Wine.
Go ahead.
If your dilemma is the battle between good and evil, my question is, God is necessarily good, and if a devil existed, that devil is necessarily bad. How do you know that the God is not doing the good and the bad?
I mean, you know what? To be honest with you, I think if there is a God, then he's both, because it's got to be balanced. If there is,
it's a big if.
My question was going to be, so my question was going to be, if we are nothing but energy, or we have souls, whatever the case may be, and I guess math has proven, or science has actually proven that energy can't be destroyed. It can only be transferred. What happens when we die, and where do we? And I don't think it's the heaven or hell.
Your body. The answer is your body decomposes, and you revert back to the mush that you started out as. But every atom is still accounted for in your body. You don't just start disappearing. The matter don't go anywhere. It's like this. If you have a house, right, and I burn down your house, where did your house go? It didn't just disappear. It got transformed into a different form of matter known as smoke and ash. The same thing happens to your body when you die. You transform into other molecules and other elements because, like you said, that's what matter does. But when you say energy, I think it confuses people because that make people think that energy is like some spooky shit out there. I like to say matter, because energy and matter are really the same thing. That's what we're talking about here. That's what the stuff is. That's when you touch something. This is matter. You know what I'm saying? Energy, there's no reason to believe that you go somewhere. I've seen dead bodies in the casket, and I don't know why people think that a part of that person is not there. Every atom is still accounted for. So let me unmute y'all and I'll bring y'all back in.
Yeah, we're gonna start with 404. Let's start with 404, man, because I know he's still kind of like how I was at age 20. I'm 37. So 404, what do you think about that?
You're old. That was a joke.
404, you still there? Red wine.
Yeah.
So do you still think that we have some kind of internal source called a soul or something like that that exists within our bodies? Or are you still on that fence with that?
I mean, well, put it this way. It's like, feel like we're nothing but clay, or we are matter, quote unquote. And it's something on the inside of us that's actually making our bodies do what they do. So what I'm saying is, for lack of a better term, a soul, energy, whatever the case may be, if that can't be destroyed at all, then where do we go? And I know.
Let me ask you a question. If I give you a frontal lobotomy, did your soul leave your body?
Hold on, Dave. Let him finish, Dave.
If I remove your brain, did your soul leave your body? You're still alive.
Dave, let him finish. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so I just feel like, cause it's all right. So it's kind of like this: if I close my eyes and I think of something in it, let's say KRS-One talked about this in the speech that he did. So it was basically where he had an exercise where everybody said rock star. So he said, I want everybody to close their eyes and say rock star in their mind. Don't open your mouth. Don't, just say it to yourself in your mind. So the question you got to ask yourself is, who said that? Is it you, or is it something else? And that's what I'm talking about, like that inner person.
Your imagination. You imagined it.
Trying to get on. Well,
hold on, Dave. Dave, you know what? I want you to change your name to Pitbull Atheist, bro. Because you're a Pitbull.
I'm sorry, but he's like asking about like stuff I just knew when I was playing with my toys, and I heard voices from Stretch Armstrong.
But Dave, this brother saying he pulled away from that belief system. But the thing is, right. Because Dave, me, you, and Kweli, we all was Christian, right? So when you pull away from that shit, it's gonna be layers. So what red is doing, what red wine is doing, he's peeling away the layers of the delusion that he was basically fed. So we gotta right go on in this shit.
Okay, Red, let me ask you a question. If I remove half of your brain, did your soul leave your body?
No.
Why? You're a pile of drool. You don't speak. You can't think. You're just organs that are functioning. You're a vegetable. Is your soul still in there?
I mean, it possibly could be, but I'm not.
What do you mean possibly?
Sure.
Your brain is removed. You're just a brainstem. You're just a beating heart.
Right.
So is your soul still inside you?
I mean, well, I would have to say yeah, but once again, I'm not.
But hold on a second. Your personality exists entirely within your brain, within your prefrontal cortex, to be specific. If I removed your brain just behind your forehead, if I cut open your forehead and pulled out that gushy brain matter and left the rest of you intact, you would still be alive, but you would be a vegetable. So where are you?
Yeah, you're right.
Who are you? Who are you in that example? Are you still you?
No.
Why? You're alive. Your face looks the same.
Because if you took what makes me,
where's it go? Where's it go?
Then don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Hold on a second. I'm holding in one hand. I'm holding your removed brain. It's dripping in my palm, and on the other hand, I reattached your skull and put it back together, and now you're a drooling pile of mess. You're not. You're a vegetable.
So that means that like.
So where are you?
Right. So I guess I'm in your hand.
Really? So your soul is in the palm of my hand?
Well, he getting at?
Nah, but check it.
I'm talking about personhood. I'm talking about that. Where is your personhood?
Yeah, exactly. But that's how powerful soul is. It's a feeling, brother.
It's a feeling?
Like even a person can be in his own soul, bro. Yeah, because like the world.
Wait. How does that work, though? Hey, Peace, so how does that work?
What were you just being there and not being able to see?
So you know, okay, so there has been a lot of deaths between El Paso guys and Juarez, Mexico guys, right? So if I pick one of those dead bodies up and I take one of the brains out, is there a soul in my hands or did he go somewhere else?
Nah, but that's what you said. Like he was alive. Like he's saying he's dead already, but he's saying he's still alive. Still alive, homie.
So like if I take his brain out, no, that's not what I asked. So where did the soul go?
Bro.
So is the soul in the mind or the body?
What I'm talking
the soul is the feeling, bro. The soul is
wait a
feeling,
minute.
Like, it's like
wait a minute. So like I guess what I'm talking about.
I ain't mean to say it's the soul, the mind, and the body. It's stupid. Is the soul? Where's the soul located in the body? Where is it located?
And what is it made of?
See, like I'm not necessarily sure on that, but
hey, by the way,
let me hear from
the frontal.
All right, time out, people. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I do want to let everybody get their last remarks in. But let me help y'all out with this soul stuff. And I'm going to just give y'all what's called, in my neck of the woods, tough love. Meaning, you might not like what I'm about to say, but it's coming from a good place, and I mean nothing but to help you with it. There is no such thing as a soul. This idea is a misconception that people have came up with because of the way the word is pronounced. Soul used to mean a person, used to literally mean a person. A person was a soul. Over time, people started to imagine that we had another imaginary person inside of our person. But in reality, what David was trying to get y'all to understand is that everything that you attribute to your soul is actually done by your brain. So if you don't have a brain, everything that you say your soul is responsible for is no longer is a brain. So all the answer to your questions is what happens when this happened and what happened when that happened. You got to study consciousness, study the brain, and then you'll understand what you calling a soul. But the soul don't exist, and neither do devils and demons and all that stuff. So I'm gonna let y'all speak one by one and get y'all close remarks in, and then we got to close out the show. But we do this every week, so y'all are welcome to call back next. Get your last remarks in.
Yeah. We're going to our last remarks in. Yeah, it's on. We're gonna do 404 because he last caller, so we're gonna start from last. Red Wine, go and get your remarks in. Keep it brief because we gotta close the show out, and then we're gonna go with Peace and then Dave because we gotta talk to Dave in private. So we had to Dave, we gotta talk to you in private, bro.
No, you know what? No, like Dave's good, man. You know, Dave's 10. You know.
No, I know Dave.
Super intelligent. Yeah, no, like you guys are super intelligent. That you're well versed, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate y'all for letting me come.
Thanks for calling to the show, man. We appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you. So basically, what you just said was what was the words I was trying to come up with, which was consciousness. You know, and you got to forgive me because I'm trying to get out of what I was in. So it's kind of like, because a lot of things I'm saying is just lack of a better term. So I might use certain words, and I don't necessarily literally mean that, but
versus soul. It would be your
Right.
consciousness or what makes you tick. So that's all. But no, man, it was cool, man. I appreciate y'all. Go ahead.
We appreciate you, bro.
too, man.
And we hope you call in next time too.
Yeah, we live every Sunday, man. 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so it's between 7. If you're I'm in Texas, so yeah.
and we be on CP time too.
Yeah, I'm color people. Yeah, because he told me, cause I was waiting on you too. Yeah, but like we had all kinds of Christians in the backtrack. We called in, and that one called back. Okay, so we're gonna move it over to Peace in El Paso, Texas. Peace in El Paso, Texas. Give us your brief. You got 1 minute. Explain yourself, or whatever you want to say.
I just wanna wish everybody a great week, and give me your honest truth, man. Like let me know, like if you would rock with this even back in the day, you know. Won't let the devil get you, said Jehovah, Holy Spirit fire over ya. The devil shook with one look as he saw that with the holy book. Babylon ain't on your level, so prayers we raise to praise the highest. Come test.
Okay.
The wicked them get no rest. We not just the way you but be able to. On the devil bust Jesus Christ.
Hey, we said
your
he had
life will protect. Give you dialect. Fantasy, handle it with intellect. Let me just say last. Don't forget too fast. Hey, please.
I'm trying to catch the beat.
Dave, let him have it.
He is as talented at rapping as Drake is at rapping.
Okay, so Peace, like and subscribe, man. We want everybody to like and subscribe to the show. Subscribe to our show. STC, support the content, support our content. I'm gonna call you El Paso.
All right, peace, man. We'll holler at you, bro. Appreciate you calling in, Peace.
Man. Hey, subscribe to our channel. Peace. All right, so last but not least, man, the strong atheist, man.
I'm not a strong atheist, but what I will say.
Hey, Dave, you know I gotta fuck with you, man, because I know your channel on fucking Clubhouse.
What I will say is that first of all, in the Black community, I'm surprised that you exist, because a lot of people.
Oh, it's rare.
Oh, I know, but a lot of, and it's not only is it rare, but it's like dangerous. You could lose your family over this.
I did.
Oh, okay. Well,
Me too.
But that's kind of what I wanted to close with, is that, gosh, how does because when I told my mom and my family, they were, of course, call me a work of Satan, blah blah blah, everything you can, because these religions, the people that built these religions were not stupid individuals. These people understood human psychology. They understood societal psychology, and they understood, here's what you do if you want to keep someone in your group, is you convince them that anyone that dissents is the devil, right? So it creates this toxic environment where you lose your family. And going back to African Americans in the United States, do you know one of the main reasons why slavery lasted so long in this country? Crack open your Bible. Crack it open and start reading it. Our slave ancestors were beaten while being recited verses in the Bible. So Chris Rock once said something, and I'm paraphrasing. He said, if you're Black and Christian, you have a very short memory.
Facts.
I mean, come on, let's face it. Slaves obey your master. Buy slaves from the heathen around you. You can beat your slave as long as they don't die within a day or two. I can go on, but the fact of the matter is, it's so ingrained in our culture, especially in Black culture, that here's what I think, and I'm gonna wrap this up because I have to get up for work in the morning too. But here's what I'm gonna say is, Christianity particularly is very good at reaching out to people that are in dire straits, people that are desperate, people that are down, people that are beaten, people that are dirty and cold and hungry. Christianity fills that niche. It tells you everything you want to hear. It tells you all you got to do is give yourself to Christ and everything will be good. in the afterlife, right? Give yourself to Christ and you'll no longer be hungry. Give yourself to Christ, you'll be among kings. You'll be in the kingdom. You'll be rich. You'll be happy. You'll go to heaven. Who does that really appeal to in 1800s America? Who is the most oppressed individual in, let's say, 1840 United States? Black people, slaves. They were the most desperate human beings at that in the world at that time. And so Christianity stepped in, and it, despite the hypocrisy, it stepped in and it filled that niche. And so I think, I mean, old Negro spirituals, even our songs, even our "Wade in the Water." I mean,
that part. They sang that shit every Sunday at my mama's church.
I mean, ad nauseum.
Coping mechanisms, man.
Ad nauseum. And you know why? And to this day, Black people are typically, I'm not saying every Black person is downtrodden. I mean, Jay-Z and Beyonce are doing pretty well, but out of all of Americans, if you're going to find some depressed, economically depressed, put down group of people, it's going to be black people. And so that's why I think that this religion really fills a firm place in the culture. Combine that with the fact that our community center was at the church. Our politics was at the church. Martin Luther King was a pastor, but he was really a political leader at the same time. And he started at the church. And so all of these cultural forces, they create this environment in which if you're Black, you better be Christian. It doesn't matter which Christian. You can be Baptist, Methodist, whatever, but you better be Christian, because that's just the norm. And I think that when you really, because I was 15 when I started asking these questions, but when you really start to think for yourself and say, wait a second, how do I know that's true? Right? When you really start to ask those questions, it's frowned upon. It's discouraged. And you have to choose. Do I want to keep the love of my mother, or do I want to think for myself? And a lot of people are just not brave enough to leave. My dad, for example, I know he won't say it, he won't admit it, but he's an atheist. He won't say it because his wife is Christian and he doesn't want to lose the love of his wife. But I know for a fact, he's a scientist. He's a science teacher, actually. But I know for a fact he doesn't believe that shit, but he goes along with it. And that's the power of this.
She got that snap.
What's that?
Say your dad's wife got that snapper.
Yeah, well, I don't want to think about the specifics of that, but
hey, bro, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? We have a white man telling y'all. Matt Dillahunty did the same thing that Dave is doing. Matt Dillahunty told a Black person on his show on the Atheist Experience, yeah, like we enslaved your ancestors, like due to this shit. And Dave is saying the same thing. So if y'all, I just don't get it, like how Black people, they say, oh, well, he's the devil, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I ain't even go.
I want you to ask, when you talk about the issue of slavery in the Bible, a lot of Christians will bring up this idea of, oh, it was a different context. It was a different time. Those words were for the ancient Israelites, okay? Those words were for ancient people. I want you to ask yourself one question. The response to that is, actually, it's twofold. Would you be my slave under the rules in your book, number one? And number two, what do you think the slave would have said to your answer? What do you think how do you think the slave would respond to, oh, it was just context, or
especially if you beat me to the point where
indentured servitude? That's another one. Oh, it's just bond servant. What do you think the bond servant would have said as he was being beaten? Right? Like, think about that for a second.
We're pulling out the strap, man. Kweli, we pulling out the strap, bro. Like,
yeah, well, that's what
you even hit me till I almost died. Like, what the
right?
fuck?
Like, imagine the slave. You just witnessed your father get murdered, your wife get raped, your mother get kidnapped and raped, your children you'll never see him again, and this white man is telling you, slaves, obey your master, for it is righteous, blah blah blah. All right. The only response that I would have is take these chains off of me so I can kill you, right? It's not going to be, oh, well, it's a different context today. I mean, or it was a different culture back then, or, it's probably in my best interest.
That's what they use to justify their slavery, man. But Dave, man, we sure appreciate you, bro. I'm going to hit you in the back chat. I know you're going to open up a room.
No, I got to go to sleep.
Oh, you're not going to open up the room today? Okay. So, but when you do open up a room, we're going to talk about this. Bro, man, thank you so much, Dave, for for coming on. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the callers that came in. Sharon Savage, we're sorry that we couldn't hear you, but we was trying to make you a mod so we could hear you. But thanks for showing up to the Atheist Church Live. We didn't do the reverse collection plate today. We had no donators. But come tune in next Sunday to where we will have a donation. I'm going to personally donate $50 to the collection plate so everybody can win some money. You feel me? So we don't take your money, we give it back. You see what I'm saying? If we do take your money, we give it back.
It's already 25.
All right, I gotta go, guys.
All right, peace and love, Dave. Peace and love, man.
Pot, by the way.
Go ahead.
I was just saying it's already $25 in the pot, courtesy of Steve the Theorist and Danielle War. So they donate just about every week.
Yeah,
so we waiting on somebody to enter so we can let y'all win this money. But y'all, I guess y'all think we playing or something.
Go ahead and do it real quick, man. If you want to, man, go ahead and do it real quick. And
we don't got enough. I had no winner.
Oh, no winner? Okay. Shit. Well,
you got no interest, man. You got anything you want to add, Kwame, before we bounce?
Oh, no, nothing. Well, only thing I gotta add, man, I just say stay woke, like the song said. I find it funny that we had a person from El Paso, Texas, and they called in, bro. And I want to tell you that story about when I was in the military in Fort Bliss.
What?
They actually thought that there was a demon on the other side of the Franklin Mountains, watching everybody in El Paso. The reason why the poverty rate is so high because it's a demon on the other side of the mountain. They believe everything. They attribute to their El Paso's poorest, the poverty rate to a demon on the other side of Franklin Mountain. That's crazy. That's what the locals believe when I was over there in El Paso. You go to El Paso now, it's a very beautiful city. You go to El Paso City, El Paso, Texas right now, it's very beautiful. And I'm like, y'all still have a poor poverty rate. It ain't got shit to do with a goddamn demon. It got everything to do with your fucking mayor and your government there. So that's all I want to show. That's the demon you need to be addressing right there.
For sure. I want to touch on some of the stuff that we talked about because I kind of bit my tongue tonight. I wanted to let the callers talk. But they touched on some things. Like it was a lot of talk about demons and the devil. And I want to let everybody know that these things don't exist. The devil is not real. Just because bad things happen, you cannot blame that on some imaginary devil. And good things happen, you cannot give credit to an imaginary God. So if you go to the doctor and get medical attention and surgery or whatever you need, drugs and medicine, and then you give the credit for your healing and being cured to an imaginary being, that don't make no sense, and it's disrespectful to the doctors that helped you. Likewise, if something bad happened to you and you blame some imaginary being, you closing yourself off from the actual cause and figuring out how you can avoid it in the future. Just saying, oh, it's the demon on the other side of the mountain. We'll never address what's really causing the poverty as long as we believe in that it's the demon on the side of the mountain. You will never get to it because guess what? There ain't no demon on the other side of the mountain. It hasn't ever been demonstrated to exist. It never will be demonstrated to exist. That's my claim. And if it could, why the fuck isn't it happening like to bad people? Take Donald Trump, for example, who holds up the Bible while he's spraying black people with pepper spray or getting them sprayed with pepper spray. Is that good? Because he's a Christian. So I want to know how black people reconcile their Christianity with the fact that the people that hate them have the same religion. Then we was talking about
allegedly, that nigga's a alleged Christian. He's not.
Alleged Christian. I don't believe him either, but still. He was talking about how atoms interact. So Bubblegum was talking about this. And he was saying, well, how do molecules come together? It's got to be some type of intelligence. Well, not really, sir. You just don't understand chemistry. And I'm not a chemist. I don't know everything about it, but I know enough to know it don't require no intelligence. So basically, atoms are nothing but protons, neutrons, and electrons. Every atom. proton, neutron, electron. Just like when you was in science class and they made you put the toothpicks and the marshmallows together, and a different amount of toothpicks and marshmallows represented different atoms. That's how it is in real life. Different amounts of protons and neutrons and electrons make different elements. And if you have more electrons than protons, then that atom will have a negative charge. If you have more protons than neutrons, that atom will have a positive charge. And what happens with opposites charges, positive and negative? They attract each other. No intelligence needed. Magnets simply work. Atoms attract each other. Positive and negative charges attract each other. So if I have two hydrogen atoms that have a negative charge and an oxygen atom that has a positive charge, they will come together. And the two hydrogen atoms would then bond to another oxygen atom. This is why water is so sticky. And when you pour it, it'll stick to the surface of whatever container it's in if you don't have it at a far enough angle, because the atoms are literally sticking together. So study up on chemistry and then you won't be wondering where life came from. So then we talk about evolution. You said that evolution is not true, therefore you believe in all these gods. But I said it once, I guess you didn't hear me, so I'm gonna say it again. Evolution has nothing to do with the creation of life or how life exists. Evolution only describes how life diversified. Why are there so many species that are different? Evolution answers that question. Where did the first life come from? Evolution don't answer that. All right? So you cannot say because evolution is not true, therefore God. Even if evolution wasn't true, it still wouldn't prove you're God. All right. So that's called abiogenesis. If you want to debate abiogenesis, then you got to debate abiogenesis, but you can't confuse the two terms. And then we started talking about the soul. All right. So the soul has been tested scientifically, and these tests failed utterly. They predicted that if they measured a body at the time of death, that body will weigh less after the person died because the soul has left the body. But when they tested this with very precise scales on people with terminal illnesses that they knew were about to die, they had them laying on the scales, no change in weight. I'm talking about down to the milligram. So if there is a soul, it doesn't weigh anything, meaning it's not made of anything. It doesn't exist, because everything that we know of is made up of something. There is nothing in existence that does not have a chemical structure. It's made up of some element in the universe. You know that periodic table of elements that was at the top of your class in high school?
Yeah.
Everything is made up of one of those things. It's probably something that we haven't discovered yet.
And
but ain't nothing made up.
I was like, what is a soul made of? You know what I'm saying? What is God made of?
It's not real. It's a non-thing. Like I was saying before, soul actually means person, but over the time, words change meaning, and at some point in time, the soul like changed from being a person to being like
you mean like Jonathan and David? You mean like they was one soul, Jonathan and David?
Yeah, man. I don't understand how people still hold on to these beliefs without any evidence. You know what I mean? So to people like Red Wine, all you got to do is follow the evidence. At this point, you in a good point right now, because you don't have that belief over your head to say, oh, I got to believe this, I got to follow this. Now you searching. Now you looking for the evidence, and that's where you want to stay. Always looking for more evidence, always looking for more truth. Even people like me, I call myself an atheist, but I don't stop looking for evidence. You know what I'm saying? I'm still searching. I'm still trying to learn. You know what I mean? I just haven't seen any evidence that make me change my mind in the last 5 years or so since I've been an atheist. But at one point, I was a Christian. You know what I mean? So I had to experience something or get some type of information that changed my mind. So that's all I wanted to say, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate all y'all for calling in. I had a good time tonight. And we're going to be back next week Probably gonna go live sometime during the week, like on a Friday or something.
You know what, Kweli? I'm gonna do you one favor. We're gonna do the chick track. I got my people. We done already recorded, so we're gonna. I ain't gonna say recorded, but we done already rehearsed the chick track. We're gonna do a chick track. We're gonna do some comedy for y'all next Sunday, and yeah. Tune in for that. Tune in for that for the Atheist Church. We're gonna do Bible comedy, well, the chick track comedy. So. Tune in for that, y'all.
All right, and y'all do me a huge favor. Make sure y'all subscribe to the other YouTube channel, Atheist Church Live, and the Black Atheist Reality Show. That's Kwame's channel, and Atheist Church Live, that's the channel that this show is supposed to be hosted on. But I know a lot of y'all haven't subscribed yet, so we still streaming on the Kweli Kush channel. But I need y'all to go over to the Atheist Church Live channel because we about to stream some different type of content on the Kweli Kush channel. And also subscribe to the podcast. You can subscribe on Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, Alexa, whatever the hell you got, we on it. So subscribe to Atheist Church Live. And if you ain't got nothing else, Kwame, we out this thing.
You too, man. We out, man. Peace and love to the black melanated people out there. Stay woke. If you ain't woke, wake up. Peace.